splinter in your mind, driving you mad. It is this feeling that has brought you to me.
How you doing, everybody? This is Charles Strange, Gold Star Father, Michael Strange. Stand up, speak out, and get involved. Yeah! God bless America.
Stand up, speak out, and get involved.
If we call for...
In other words, if I were the devil, I'd just keep right on doing what he's doing.
Live as loud as hell! Hey, what kind of day is anyone?
Blame Latin Man. Hi, this is Carrie Johnson from Temecula, California, live Truth Radio, Ground Zero reporter, and I listen to Brian Lange and Live Truth Radio.
You know, somebody asked me, what's that? I go, that's American flag. What are you wearing?
Right outside of this one church town, there's a gold dirt road to a whole lot of nothing. Got a deed to the land, but it ain't my ground. This is God's country. We pray for rain and thank Him when it's falling, 'cause it brings a grain and a little bit of money. We put it back in the plate. I guess that's why they call it God's country. I saw the light in the sunrise, sitting back in the 40 on the muddy riverside, getting baptized in holy water and shine with the dogs running. Saved by the sound of a pin-found Dixie whistle in the wind that'll get you heaven bound. The devil went down to Georgia, but he didn't stick around. This is God's country. We turn the dirt and work until the week's done. We take a break and break bread on Sunday, then do it all again, 'cause we're proud to be from God's country. I saw the light in the sunrise, sitting back in the 40 on the muddy riverside, getting baptized in holy water and shine with the dogs running. Saved by the sound of a pin-found Dixie whistle in the wind that'll get you heaven bound. The devil went down to Georgia, but he didn't stick around. This is God's country. God's country. I don't care what my headstone reads or what kind of pine wood box I end up in. When it's my time, lay me 6 feet deep in God's country. I saw the light in the sunrise, sitting back in the 40 on the muddy riverside, getting baptized in holy water and shine with the dogs running. Saved by the sound of a pin-found Dixie whistle in the wind that'll get you heaven bound. The devil went down to Georgia, but he didn't stick around. This is God's country. Yeah, I saw the light in the sunrise, sitting back in the 40 on the muddy riverside, getting baptized in holy water.
I can hear you.
Can you hear
I
me?
got music playing. Can you hear me?
Absolutely.
And this song, everybody, is Jeremy Dodge, a pastor out there in New Mexico, and it's called I Am America. Are you America?
Let's go right. We are American. Not the war, but we came to fight.
Somebody's gotta stand up. Somebody's gotta do what's right. We're rising cause we're fed up. Got a house and motor and got yours inside. I am American. That's what I am. That's what I think. And what I do.
Come on, sing with me, guys.
I am American. That's what I am. And I bleed red, white, and blue. And I bleed red, white, and blue. It's not about party, it's about what's right. Taking back our country, come and join the fight. Somebody's gotta stand up. Somebody's gotta do what's right. We're rising first for failure. Our house in over and yours inside. I am American. That's what I am. What I think and what I do. I am American. That's what I am. And I bleed red, white, and blue. And I bleed red, white, and blue. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I am American. That's what I am. That's what I think and what I do. I am American. That's what I am. And I bleed red, white, and blue. And I bleed red, white, and blue. And I bleed red, white, and blue.
All right. I hope you guys enjoyed that a little bit. I mean, damn, I haven't heard that music in a while because I haven't had a broadcast in a while. I'm in an undisclosed location north of the border of our south border. Okay, north of the border, and as I said, undisclosed location. And we got Lazaro Ecenarro here. Lazaro Ecenarro, say hey.
Hey, good afternoon.
How come
Good
I'm
evening.
hearing you through the phone and not my ears?
Probably because of my
You know,
earbuds.
special ones that
See that? Yeah. That I just purchased because of you. I just went ahead and I had to get a tripod and these little headphones to be synced. And I mean, it's crazy how much I spent. I spent at least over $200 just to accommodate you, brother.
I'm going to be getting you a mixer. So I guess it'll leave you on. All right. And that's another story, everybody. When I was told by my company that they needed me at a certain location, I left the house, and Mr. Ed, that was taking me to the company car so I could start traveling, we took off down I-75 south there in Lima, Ohio, and we went a distance, and I said, shit. You know, that's what I said. I mean, I can't fake it. That's what I said because it pissed me off. I thought, oh, I forgot my damn equipment. I got it all set up in my duffel bag. I forgot all of my equipment to do a radio show, and that's why you have not had a radio. I have not had a radio show since I've been down here working. But we are here. Lazaro's here. I'm here. Laz, what do you want to talk about today?
Matt, you know, I don't know if you recall when Robert Lavoy Finnegan
I was
was
having a show that night.
assassinated by a de facto government, and here we are today now. Yeah, and we have to go back to what Lavoy was preaching and what we're dealing with today. Uh, it's all coming full circle. And remember, we lost Leo Stratton, uh, supposedly assisted suicide, or you know how things go. I believe he was assisted suicide. But at the end of the day, uh, it comes full circle in the sense that the same criminal empires, criminal element within the de facto government in the state of Oregon, what happened this past week regarding the 11 Republicans that walked out. Uh, don't get me wrong, it was good, but we also have to understand who was complicit behind Robert Lavoy Finnegan's assassination, and that is Cliff Bentz and Brian Bukest, two Republicans, rhinos, that don't care, don't give a rat's ass about the people of Oregon, but their financial interest. And hopefully, we'll be able to expose a lot of the financial interest behind it. Uh, I'm talking, as I throw names out there, there's a lot of people out there that have been kind of like scared or somehow might be intimidated for the information that we're going to bring out today. And I'm hopefully not just your live stream on Live Truth Radio, but I'm hoping other alternative media will start looking into what's really happening in the state of Oregon and what was the premise behind keeping people distracted in Salem with the 11 Republicans and actually looking at what happened in Malheur County. Remember, Malheur County played a huge role in Robert Lavoy Finnegan. And if you look at who's in Malheur County, with Grant County and with Harney County, well, nothing would surprise you. And the names will come out as I've been announcing the names from day one, from the time Robert Lavoy Finnegan was assassinated. As you recall, I don't know if you still recall those conversations.
I know I watched your live stream earlier today, and I don't know what you were just bringing up as far as the 11 that walked out. Now I don't recall that. Was that in that live stream that you had earlier today, or that you sent me earlier?
That live stream was previous live stream, but two out of the 11, which is Cliff Bentz and Brian Bukest, are the two that were predominantly against Robert Lavoy Finnegan and participated in Robert Lavoy Finnegan. Matter of fact, there are emails exchanged between Brian Bukest from Dallas, Texas, with Kate Brown. So the mostly American people don't understand that. Remember, we have traitors like Mitch McConnell, like Lindsey Graham, Ted Cruz, Marco Rubio, John McCain, or treasonous John McCain. So we have to understand that there are traitors within the Republican Party. Well, I'm telling the American people that the documents do not lie. That the documents regarding the conversations between Kate Brown and Brian Bukest are there for the American people or for the Republican Party to see what really transpired. The event of Robert Lavoy Finnegan's assassination on January 26th of 2016. So yeah, he played a big role.
We were having a broadcast that night. Fred Schneider, he's in the chat there, and others. The Ohio Oath Keepers, Larry Betts. We were all on a broadcast that night, January 26th, and the reports started coming in. Now, I know some people might not even heard about Robert Lavoy Finnegan. Some people, I talk about him all the time. I ask people, look at this. That's what I got on my wrist, people. That's what I got on my wrist. And if this one breaks or anything like that, I'll be getting another one. I'll be getting, everything that I can to get the word out about Robert Lavoy Finnegan. And I know Laz, I call him the researcher extraordinaire, but you got to start paying attention to the videos. That's what I call you. I do, because you are. But the bottom line is that the information that you give out is so alarming that the mainstream media, like Fox News, the ones that want to pay attention to the truth, they're the ones that grasped on to your information that you took to Washington, D.C., okay? They're the ones that grasped on about the uranium one, which plays into everything that's happening right now with Donald J. Trump, with the Democrats, the traitorous, treasonous, communist, socialist, fascist, Marxist Democrats, that, I mean, everything's playing. It's coming full circle, you know? It is. The information that you shared, huh?
And we cannot forget about the rhinos, because you got to mention the rhinos. The Republicans within the Republican Party, the GOP party. We got rhinos. We got traitors in there too.
You mentioned who are the other ones you mentioned? What's the guy down here? Cruz, Lindsey Graham. Yeah. Cruz. And I went to a dinner where Lindsey Graham was there. The Republican Party dinner there in Lime, Ohio, and he sure does talk a good talk. You know, he wasn't for Trump to begin with, and then he switched and he got for Trump. Maybe he sees something in Trump to motivate his base to keep himself in office. Huh?
Well, yeah, exactly. Exactly. Because they know the moment the American people or the GOP see that these treasonous Republicans betrayed Donald J. Trump, they know they're going to be voted out. So their candy ass needs to support Donald J. Trump. And as we've been saying for a long time, there's a lot of people still in D.C. and in the White House that are rhinos, or that, what do you call it, at one time, during Barack Hussein Obama's administration, and even Bill Clinton's administration, and George H.R. Bush administration, they're in the White House. So we got New World Order members, you know, or traitors or rhinos in the White House. We know that. I just wonder how many American people actually know that and able to tie it and articulate it.
Yeah, I tell you, that's why your information is so vital, though. You know, that's why I feel it's so vital. And what I'm trying to do, folks, is, okay, I'm hooked on to the earphones. It's just that it's not, I want to hear Laz through here. That's where I thought I was supposed to be able to hear you, but I'm hearing you through my phone, which we're doing the live feed through. That's weird to me. Go ahead and speak. But the rhinos, there's people on the left, everybody on the left. I'll just say that. But we do have the rhinos involved too. And you got your whole list. The people need to pay attention to your videos. They need to watch each and every one of your videos so that the information is out there, and share it wherever they can. Now, there's people within the alternative media that, I guess, for them to promote their platform, they get a hold of you, okay? They get a hold of you so that you can sit there and promote them, but then when it's all said and done, they negate. There's all sorts of alternative media like that, you know? But we are here to stay. I've been here for 9 years with my radio show. You've been doing what you've been doing with the research for how long? And it's something that we are just born to do, I guess, but we care about this country. We care about the people in this country. That's the whole thing. So, you know, my hat's off to you and all the research you do. Huh?
Amen to that, brother. You know, all the research that's being done is, I mean, for a lot of people that died, I mean, think about it. We got Senator Nancy Schaefer that was assassinated. We got Ted Gunderson that was assassinated. We had Aaron Russo that was assassinated. We have Senator Ted Stevens assassinated. I definitely don't want to William Cooper, Bill Cooper assassinated. So there's a lot of people out there with that had power within the arena of political arena or geopolitics that were murdered for speaking the truth. I don't want the American people to take my word for it. What I want the American people is to question, what is Lazaro Ecenarro saying? And does what Lazaro Ecenarro is saying, does it hold any validity? And if it doesn't hold any validity, well, why don't we just start smearing him or do a smear campaign against what he's talking about? And and for those out there was only one smear campaign against me, and that was the SPLC, the Center of Biological not the Center of Biological Diversity, but the SPLC, the Southern Poverty Law Center, that called me a terrorist, and I got a hold of that reporter, and I told that reporter, I'll take his candy ass down to the Center SPLC. I go down into California, and let's have a debate on what you consider a terrorist, and put me on in your article as a terrorist. Everybody can look at it and look it up. It's the Southern Poverty Southern Poverty Law Center, Lazaro Ecenarro terrorist. Anybody can look it up. It's there. SPLC put me that. But who does SPLC belong to? Who owns SPLC? That's George Soros and Media Matters. And so when it comes to that, I'll destroy their narrative. I told them I'll fly over there and we'll have a debate. You look at me one-on-one on a live stream. Not one conversation, not one text. I sent them my text, my email, my location. Haven't heard anything from those people. Nothing. So I always say is, if anybody wants to question the information that I bring out, by all means, let's have a debate on it. Let's have the alternative media live streaming, and you tell me when, and where. And we'll put it that way. We'll put them to the test, or put me to the test.
Something that came out earlier today, and I already shared it. Somebody put it out there, and let's see, where was it? Oh, yeah, there it is. pjmedia.com, and this was shared by somebody, and I think it was Tony that's in chat there, Tony Chester. It could have been somebody else, but I don't know. Report shows online ties linking Huffington Post, The Guardian, and SPLC to Antifa. So, there you go.
Yep, that's a fact.
All right, they're working for the destruction of America by pitting people against one another. All right, this is what's going on, and the facts are the facts. They're and who is supporting them? Where is the money coming from all of these? I mean, tell the people. I got an idea. Thank you.
George Soros. George Soros. Most of it coming through George Soros. And don't get me wrong. The Koch brothers are also involved, heavily involved. Just like Monsanto, just like Melinda and Bill Gates Foundation, just like the Bethesda Group, just like the Hillary Clinton or Hillary Clinton Foundation. They're all work together. And what they do is they want the GOP and the Democrats, like Antifa and the Patriot Prayer Group, always fighting amongst each other to keep the distraction away from what's really happening in the Capitol, meaning corrupt politicians regarding rhinos and Democrats in bed, like prime example with Calico Resource. Just like Uranium One in Oregon, now we're having Calico Resource in Oregon, but not just in what is it, at the Malheur Wildlife Refuge or in or Harney County, but this is now happening at the Malheur County. Now, why do I say Malheur County? Is because that's where all the silver and gold is at. And that silver and gold, according to the documents that I come, like Senate Bill 1113 and HB 4202, they say that the minerals, the silver and the gold, is going to the Chinese. Well, number one is, did the people vote to have their minerals going to the Chinese? And if people didn't vote, then where within the Constitution does it give any state representative, including the governor of Oregon, the permission to steal the riches of the minerals, the silver and gold, from the people of Malheur County and give it to the Chinese? Show me within the Constitution where it says that. Show me within the Oregon Constitution where it says that. It's
not in there. It's not in there. You and I both know it isn't.
Good. It's not in there. They can't. And they can't show me that. Not one Republican rhino, or now one freaking Democratic or libtard. They cannot show me that, because I'll challenge both parties.
I'm sitting here scrolling because there was another report that came out that supports exactly what you're saying. And plus, right before this broadcast, before I took off to come back to get to this broadcast that we're doing, there was something about, let me try and remember. There is nothing in the Constitution at all that supports them to do what they're doing, but yet the Democrats continue, and I'll say it just specifically, Democrats, because they're the communist, socialist, fascist, Marxist of this nation. They are traitors. They are treasonous. Everything that they do is against this nation. If they had their way, all right, this nation would be a communist country, period. A socialist country, period. Everything would be for free, but yet everybody that's working has to pay for it. You know, that's where they're heading. That's what they want to do, and that is traitorous to this nation. Okay, and that there is nothing in the Constitution that supports anything that they are doing. Everything that they want to do is unconstitutional. Everything that they want to achieve is traitorous and treasonous. Just like they're sitting there saying about Trump and that he has so many crimes. I don't know if anybody watched. It was hilarious. The Democratic debates. Did you watch that last?
Oh, I didn't watch that. All I saw was bits and pieces of what's that idiot Beto trying to speak Spanish or answer a question or try to avoid a question by talking Spanish. That was the most comical thing I've ever seen. Oh, that was Comedy Central right there at its finest.
I know what you're talking about. What was it, Bago or Beto, whatever his name is? He was trying to speak Spanish.
Beto, Robert.
But even at there, the people that were monitors of the debates, right? Who'd we have? Rachel Maddow. Rachel Mad Cow.
I mean,
I said that for a reason. It's Mad Cow. But she's
a joke.
I mean, absolutely hilarious, the stuff that they try and speak about to try and gear the question towards the Democrats so that they can answer it in a socialistic, communist way. And that the one of them was about Donald Trump when he leaves office. Would you still like to arrest him for treason or something like that, of crimes that he committed? Here's the deal. The previous, very
These people are special.
Lunatics. But the bottom line is that, do they remember at all 8 years that we had of the guy that was in our White House inelligibly, illegitimately for 8 years before Donald J. Trump? All the crimes that he committed, all the unconstitutionalist stuff that he created. This is what I wrote. The article is, and it was from Forbes, and I know that this is what Tony Chester shared earlier. It's from Forbes magazine. Obama's plan to seize control of our economy and our lives, right? Now, this article was put out in 2012. This is what I was talking about at that time on the radio broadcast. The communist, socialist, fascist, Marxist, what they were trying to do to America. And this is what I said on the heading on Facebook. When the Dems start talking about #Trump and he's not following the Constitution on issues, all you have to do is look back to the executive order to understand this executive order that's captioned underneath this article. Look back to the executive order to understand that they are just blowing smoke or smoking something. Okay, this is just one.
Oh, you know they're on some serious meds. These people are
definitely
comical.
smoking.
They're laughable.
But this is just one item of Obama's illegitimate, ineligible, traitorous, treasonous stint in our White House that should give you an idea of how the Dems and the rhinos are. Now that plays into what we were just talking about. The Dems and the rhinos. If we just take it back a little bit, 2012 was just 7 years ago when this article came out. And it was about the executive order that he wrote about national preparedness that talked about, and there was one also in July of 2012, and I talked about all of this when it happened, but nobody would sit there and pay attention. Nobody would sit there and pay attention. Not enough Americans stood up, spoke out, and got involved over this. And we are still suffering. Go ahead.
Well, you know what? I gotta give one thing to Obama, and it's amazing in regards to John Podesta's emails. And in John Podesta's emails is Ron Wyden and Jeff Merkley, the two criminals that played in the assassination of Robert LeBoy Fennekin. Ron Wyden and Jeff Merkley in Podesta email states that Ron Wyden is not too much of a popular guy, but he'll put resistance in respect to the Oahe River, the Oahe waters. Now we understand why why the in the Podesta emails why they stated that about Ron Wyden and Jeff Merkley, for the simple fact that they have financial gain in Calico Resource, in which again the silver and gold that's being stolen in Grassy Mountain, Vail, Oregon, by Calico Resource and heading to for the Chinese, the silver and gold going to the Chinese. When you understand that comment regarding with an email of John Podesta, you have to really think about why would they make that such a comment. And when you look at the financial gain behind Calico Resources extracting the silver and gold and sending it to the Chinese, well, who else would benefit from this? That's right, Anna J. Brown, the one after the Bundys. But who else would financially benefit? Adam Wyden, Ron Wyden's son, because he has a hedge fund regarding minerals. And God forbid Adam Wyden is actually affiliated with Calico Resource. So let's also put this into perspective. An article just came out regarding to Merrill Lynch. I'm not saying every employee in Merrill Lynch is bad, but the top CEOs of Merrill Lynch should be at least, if it was in Middle East, they would have been executed for the simple fact of theft. Now, why? Because it's called manipulating the stock market. That's what Merrill Lynch did. Merrill Lynch manipulated the stock market regarding minerals. Why do you think the CEO, the board of directors, and the board of trustees are not incarcerated, or at least hung for treason? That's one question. Two, how many of your corrupt politicians were informed or aware that Merrill Lynch skewed the stock market regarding the minerals, the silver, gold, and uranium minerals, and sold their stocks before that report came? Does that explain why there's no CEO or board of trustees or board of directors is arrested? Why isn't this publicized all over the media? Because somebody has to be held accountable. But wait, didn't most of Congress voted for inside trading, including Rand Paul? So do you honestly think that the CEOs, the board of trustees, the board of directors, the CEOs of Merrill Lynch would go to jail for falsifying, wrongdoing, theft, and manipulating the stock market? Now here's another question for the American people. Those that have financial investments or gain regarding the minerals with Merrill Lynch, and if they lost money regarding the manipulation by Merrill Lynch, shouldn't they be compensated? Or should they bring a lawsuit against Merrill Lynch for their losses? Or should they also go after the senators and congressmen for allowing it to happen? So when you look at that, you got to find out, well, how many people have investment in Merrill Lynch, and how many people actually lost money during at that time regarding Merrill Lynch manipulation of the mineral market. Just questions out there. Don't kill the messenger now, Merrill Lynch. I'm just putting it out there because these are facts. And some of them are questions, and some of the questions we need to know, how come your CEOs, your board of trustees, and your board of directors that willfully and knowingly knew about the false market or the market manipulation on the minerals, silver, gold, and uranium.
You made me think of something else.
Just saying.
Let's put let's put everything in perspective. What I was talking about, you've done the research on that. I've done the research on the executive orders that we're talking about, and you have the National Defense Authorization Act of 2011 that was signed January 31st of 2011 as Obama was going in. Well, everybody was off for vacation. You know, you had New Year's Eve. They're out getting ready for their parties. But what was in that and is still in place is what, Laz? Is what?
Not NAFTA, national security. It's the
NDAA, National Defense Authorization Act. But what's within that? That's what he signed on January 31st. As everybody was going off on their holiday, right, enjoying the time, not paying attention. He signed that at that time for a specific reason, because it has in the wording of it that you can sit there and detain any American citizen for whatever however you want. Put them in jail for however long they want, without any due process of law. Now, what happened right after that? That was 2011. You go into 2012, 2013. What happened? That's exactly what they started doing out there in Nevada, right? That's exactly what they started doing. It all plays hand
Right.
in hand. Obama, when he first got into the White House, the very first treasonous move that he did was be on the UN Security Council. He took a chair on the UN Security Council of the UN because he wants to be the guy of the UN. All right? And that's what they were all about. And then the next
Right,
thing you
right.
know, they're
That's correct.
attacking our resources. They're taking this from our ranchers. You know, it's been playing out for years, but they started implementing it with President. I don't even like to call him that. He's not my president. That guy that was sitting on the White House for years.
No, treasonous.
Yeah.
Treasonous, Barack Hussein
Thank
Obama.
you. That's it in a nutshell, man. That's it in a nutshell. They all work hand. I've been saying this for years. Every one of these things, what you're talking about with the research and implicating all the spider webs that are going out there, all the connections that you finding and telling everybody about, they all work hand in hand. Every bit of this. The National Defense Authorization Act, then you had these executive orders, one in March of 2012 and then another one in July of 2012, taking care of all of the United States. How you work, how you eat, how you breathe, everything. You know, they were taking control of every American citizen. If you didn't agree, you're being put in jail, and you're then considered a political prisoner. Hello.
Correct. So now here we come. And what we're seeing right now is the continuing the rollout of Barack Hussein Obama and the Clintons, because the Clintonites and Barack Hussein Obama appointed all these corrupt judges. And most of them coming out of Lewis and Clark Law School, because all they do is study the minerals in the land and allegedly water rights, and they practice case law, which is unconstitutional. See, so they violate the Constitution on a daily basis. So now here we go. Cliff Benz, also a member of the American Bar Association, a lawyer, just like Hillary Clinton, Barack Hussein Obama, Bill Clinton, James Comey, Robert Mueller. Now, Cliff Benz is a lawyer, a Republican. Well, Cliff Benz, through his brother's company called Benz Solution LLC, went ahead and they hired a guy named Vance, V-A-N-C-E, Thornsberry. Well, Vance Thornsberry worked for Calico Resource. Just about 6 days before Robert Lavoie Finnegan's assassination, they got the letter from the governor's office from Vance Thornsberry to go ahead and go to the Malheur and start extracting minerals. Now, what happened 3 days ago is to expand, to go ahead and get more minerals, but at the same time get the water Oahe Reservoir. So if everybody understands the Oahe Reservoir is shared with Idaho. So Malheur County, Oregon is right next to Idaho, and that river they share. Now, guess what Calico Resources is going to do? They're going to use that water, that reservoir, to do two things: to use it to extract the silver and gold, and mix it with mercury, and then dump the waste into the Malheur Reservoir or put it underneath the ground. So what do you think is going to happen when it rains? What happens when the soil becomes wet? Well, two things are going to happen, and there's also uranium there, which is why they stated in Senate Bill S1113 that when they extract the silver and gold, there will be radioactive material, because now the uranium there is going to be radioactive. Two, the mercury that they're using to extract the silver and gold with the water is also going to go ahead and cause more contamination. It's already stated in Dugami's report that it's going to affect the brain, the liver, and the pancreas. Your pancreas, and that's what the mercury is going to do on your side effects. Now, regarding the uranium side effects, it's your liver, your liver, and your pancreas. And yet, most of the people at the Malheur County or anywhere in the state of Oregon are not talking about the side effects of the mercury and the uranium at the moment they start extracting the silver and gold.
Either one of those, and I probably can look them up. I'm sure I can, but the half-lives are like in the millions, I think. Millions of years, a half-life, or hundreds of thousands of years for a half-life of mercury, uranium, once it's in, just like, okay, aluminum, it's just like what they're spraying down on it, same kind of thing, everything that they are doing is killing us, but nobody out there seems to give a damn. You know, it's almost as though everybody's in somebody's pocket.
Nope.
You know, you and I.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I'm glad you said that. I'm glad you said that. So what do you call it? Sheriff Wolf spoke about the grassy mountain and calico resource and extracting the silver and gold. The sheriff of Mount Hare County. Now, Andy Bentz, Cliff Bentz's brother that runs Bentz Solution LLC, he stepped down as sheriff. Then he went ahead and funded Brian Wolf's campaign to be sheriff. When there's a picture of Brian Wolf and the Andy family and the Bentz Solution LLC, they're the breaking down of extracting the silver and gold. But check this out. This is phenomenal. Not that there's county court minutes in regards to Brian Wolf participating in the grassy.
Uh-oh. Somebody froze up. Laz, you froze up. I don't know what to do. Lazaro Ecenarro froze up. Okay. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe you can come back in, Laz. Yep. It's on Laz's side because you all can see me. So what I'm going to do in the meantime is American music, you know, or I'll just talk. What do you guys want to do? You want me to just talk? Nah? How about the political structure that we're having right now of what's happening? The Democrats and what they're proposing, open borders, let everybody in. Is that what everybody wants out there? You know, we got to pay for them somehow, but they're not even mentioning that. No, they're not mentioning that at all. What they're sitting there is saying, and they're trying to get the feelers of everybody, get in the heartstrings. It's all about the kids, you know, having kids in cages, even though that was done underneath Obama. They're talking about, well, they're not even saying anything about how much it's going to cost. They're just saying that they can do it. There's no plan, no structure, no nothing on how this is going to be accomplished. But yet, it's all great for everybody, right? It's all great for America. We're not American if we don't do it. We're not American if we don't sit there and bring these people in, no matter who they are, where they came from, what diseases they have, and what they represent. You know, there was just a case earlier this week. I just seen it today going through Facebook. There was an illegal alien that's here in Connecticut, I think it was, a truck driver that killed 7 people on motorcycles. Killed them for one reason or another. He should have never been here at all. He should have been deported. Just like, now why isn't it allowing me to, Laz, I see you in there. You got to send me an invite, I guess. Who's this? I'm getting all sorts of, lost the feed. You lost the feed? Laz lost the feed. I'm still sitting here. What's this? No. Oh. Bring her on camera. I haven't seen. Hi, Janie. Love you, girl. Get on here. Get on here, Janie. God, I miss you. All right, you're not accepting it. All right, there's Laz. All right, let's see. It's not even letting me allow you, Laz. You're going to have to go out and come back in, Laz. I wonder who that might be. I wonder who Robert Nelson is. Who is, uh-oh, he declined. Hello? Love you too, Janie. God, I miss you.
What battery? Oh, my battery on my. I got a battery that's low and I don't know how to charge it up. Is that something like battery low? I'm getting that in my earphones. Oh my God. How the hell do you charge this damn thing up? I mean, I hear you. I hear you. Battery low, battery low. Well, what am I going to do about it? Damn. Well, I'm going to play you some music for the hell of it. For the hell of it. Laz, I still can't join him, so here you go with some music for right now.
Stand up, speak out, and get involved.
Blame Larry, man.
Stand up, speak out, and get involved.
Blame Larry, man.
Hey everybody, this is Impact, United States Air Force band called Send Me.
Take a look inside my eyes. What do you see? Can you feel the intensity?
Okay. All right. Don't tell me you froze up again, Laz, as soon as the freaking music stopped. Lazaro. Lazaro. Oh, there you are.
There you go.
All right.
I can hear you. Cool. So I apologize.
Well, you and your fancy equipment froze the hell up. What I mean, my cheap shit, I'm still here.
Yeah. So,
Oh, man.
man. So I apologize to everybody out there.
I forgot.
So yeah, So Brian Wolf took off for so-called sheriff Andy Bence. Bence Solution LLC hired a guy named Vance, V-A-N-C-E, Thorsberry, Thornsberry. Vance Thornsberry, back in 2011, was working with Calico Resource. Look at the documents. Don't take my word for it. When you look at Vance Thornsberry, you look at the documents regarding Kate Brown, Cliff Bence, Brian Bukist, even Stephen E. Grasty. You know Stephen E. Grasty. You also have to recall Boyd Britton and Russ Young and King Williams. So all these people were in committees regarding Calico Resource. So Vince, after he surveys all the land with Stephen E. Grasty's brother, Brent Grasty, they go ahead and Vince Grasty resigns or leaves Calico Resource not to work with Bent Solution LLC. Right before Robert Lavoie Finnegan was assassinated on January 26 of 2016. On January 20 of 2016, Vince Thornsberry, through Calico, representing Calico Resource, working for Bent Solution LLC, gets the go-ahead and extract the silver and the gold that's going to the Chinese from Grassy Mountain, Mount Here County, Vail, Oregon. So when you look at the whole scheme of this is racketeering, this is extortion, this is fraud, this is thievery. I mean, at its finest. Now, when you look back at the documents regarding Stacey Davis, it's a guy. Stacey Davis doing fraudulent land exchange, in which Dan Joyce was there with Stephen E. Grasty regarding this fraudulent Land Exchange Act. One of the things that, if let's say hypothetically they decide to keep Stacey Davis quiet, guess what? There's such thing as a thumb drive, just like when Robert Lavoie Finnegan died. And on top of it, here in my laptop, there's called, well, I'll bring my laptop. I'll turn you guys around. Well, right in here in my laptop, there's called Notes. Here in Notes, when you pop in Notes, you have all the documents of everything. As you can see, Cliff Bence, Kate Brown, Sage Grouse, Calico Resource, Lavoie's assassination, WikiLeaks, all about Mercury, Dan Joyce, the so-called judge right here, all the documents regarding him, Barrick Gold Inc. merging with Calico Resource right here, Jeff Merkley, Ron Wyden, everything, the Bundys, the stewardship behind Boyd Britton and King Williams and Dan Joyce, all here, all this treason, all these are right here. Just in case they decide to make it disappear or Stacey Davis disappear or make me, remember, these thumb drives, there's multiple thumb drives. So everything that you see there, it's already been downloaded in a PDF file. So any rancher that has lost their land or Native American that lost their land because under the sage grouse or because of a committee also known as a Eastern Oregon Development or also known as a Land Comprehension Plan, you lost your minerals. Right here, I got all the truth for you. Everything you want to see, everything you want to download it into a PDF file for your attorney to sue their asses, their candy asses. Now, let me say this. So why Brian Wolf? Well, see, Brian Wolf is an elected sheriff. Now, who financially basically contributed a lot of donations to Sheriff Wolf's campaign under Bent Solution LLC. Why do you need to do that? Well, in order to keep the people intimidated, or in order to keep the people of Mount Here County dumb, or to prevent anybody to stand up, well, guess who's going to go over there and quiet them down? That is called Brian Wolf. So, and you see there's a picture of Brian Wolf with the Bent Solution LLC, which is Andy Bence, the Bence family, Cliff Bence, with a shovel breaking land regarding the silver and gold for Calico Resource. I didn't say it. Matter of fact, thank you to the Oregonian for saying that, because there's a document and there's a article on that. So when the people of Mount Here County want to stand up, well, Brian Wolf will keep those people under control or through intimidation and force or unlawful incarceration. But two, guess who's the associate president of the sheriff department? That's right, people, Brian Wolf. So if you decide to take your complaint to the sheriff, in the state of Oregon, they call the sheriff. I forgot. It's something with the sheriff. Well, Brian Wolf is the president of the sheriff department there, and I don't know if it's a union, but in the sheriff association. So he is the president of the sheriff association. So any sheriff out there that wants to complain about Calico Resource and want to go after Brian Wolf, well, how are you going to go after Brian Wolf when Andy Bench used to be a former
Wait a minute.
sheriff? So now he has buddies.
Wait. You're talking about the treasonous Brian Wolf that played his part in the killing, the assassination of Robert Lloyd Finnegan? Is he the same one that was in that documentary?
That is correct.
That chicken shit guy?
Yeah, him and David Ward. Yep. So Brian Wolf is sheriff from Mount Hero County. David Ward is a sheriff from Harney County.
Yeah, Ward's the guy I'm talking about then.
Yeah.
I was getting
So
both
no,
mixed up.
but Brian Wolf also played a role on this.
Oh, I'm
So
sure he
Brian
did.
Wolf also played it. So now when you have the president association that is Brian Wolf and head of the sheriff there association, because that's his title in the sheriff department, well, who do you go to? And you can't go to Kate Brown because Kate Brown also ordered this.
She's bought.
You can't go to, oh yeah, she's been bought. You can't go to Cliff Bentz because he's also part of it, because he also was behind the sage grouse under House Bill 3334 with Kate Brown. And why do they have to use the sage grouse? Because it had to be a front to steal land from Native Americans and ranchers, including federal land that is owned by the people, to give it to Calico Resource. Oh yeah, these guys are sneaky.
It's a vicious ass circle. You know, they keep themselves in
It is.
the net. You know, everything. It's the big old boys network. You know what I mean? Big old boys club.
Oh, this is big.
Oh,
This
it's
is big because
brother.
now they control the sheriff department. They control the sheriff department association, the sheriff department, and then you got so-called Dan Joyce. And Dan Joyce, according to what we know, he never gave his oath of office. It's not registered with the county recorders of Mount Hero County, nor with the Secretary of State, meaning his oath of office to the Constitution. Two, there's no documentation regarding him graduating from a law school. So if he ain't graduated from a law school, how is he operating administratively? Because you have to be a judge, elected judge by the people, and you have to have a degree, according to the American Bar Association, a law degree from accredited university, like the Lewis and Clark, or I call it the Lewis and Clark show, or the Lewis and Clark Law School. That's right. So there's no documentation of his oath of office, and there's no documentation that he graduated from an actual accredited university, according to the Bar Association, that studies case laws or legalese. Nothing.
This is who? This is who?
This is Dan Joyce. Dan Joyce, the judge right now, that gave Calico Resource the permits to continue to expand and extract the silver and gold in Mount Hero County, Grassy Mountain, Vale, Oregon.
He has no accreditations at all.
According to all the documents we went through, there's nothing that states that he has taken an oath in office to the Constitution and he has not graduated from accredited law school. Zero. Another Barack Hussein Obama. Zero. Now, we have Cliff Bentz accredited, but we don't have his oath of office. We have Kate Brown that went to, to Lewis and Clark Law School, that graduated just like Cliff Bentz. We have Anna Akins, but we don't have their oath of office. Except Anna J. Brown, we do have her oath of office. Sally Amanda Marshall also graduated from the Lewis and Clark Law School, but there's no oath of office. She took the oath, but there's nothing in writing that we know of, but she did graduate from the Lewis and Clark Law School. Sally Amanda Marshall also graduated from the Lewis and Clark Law School, and this is all environmentalists. The environmentalist program through Bill Clinton and the Podestas and Soros and the Koch brothers. Oh yeah, it's huge, huge monopoly. But anyways, let me continue on. Yeah.
You got a question here by Fred Marsico, or I forget it. Forgive me, Fred, if I pronounce your name wrong. Laz, doesn't the Great Basin Society own the refuge?
That is correct. It's a private corporation. It never belonged to the federal government. That's why in that Great Basin Society, the sheriff, according to their documents, this is a fact. To their documents, the sheriff is a rightful law enforcement for any cause, protest or anything. It's a sheriff that has to take a charge in regarding to the base of society. That is correct. It's a corporation. It's not a federal government, and the sheriff has jurisdiction, not the federal government. And to this day, hasn't been answered in a rule of law in a lawful court regarding why they arrested the Bundys and the political prisoners, because that refuge is a corporation, not public lands or federal lands. And two, the jurisdiction belongs to the sheriff and not the federal government. That is a fact. I have those documents too.
And here we go. Here we go. The vicious cycle still goes round and round, right? It just keeps on
That is
going
correct.
around and around. So what is the process? What can the American people do then? With your information, what can they do? I mean, there was one suggestion, I brought this up before, but you know what? It's going to take a hell of a lot for anybody to have any kind of citizen's arrest on any elected official or anything like that. It's going to take a hell of a lot for that. You know, you got to have plenty of
and you're right. You're right. There's plenty of Pepsi, and the Republican and Democratic Party that would instigate it and make it worse than what it is, and actually fighting for people's land, the Native American land, and the water rights. You're right, absolutely. Because look about it, what we just spoke about. Brian Wolf controlling the sheriff department because he's the president of the Sheriff Association. He's there in Mount Here County, dumbing down the American people, and if anybody speaks up, they'll club them over the head. You got Andrew Bentz, a former sheriff, with his buddy with other sheriffs, that if anybody speaks out, they dumb them down. But you know what? One of the greatest things about our founding fathers, that they had tenacity, they had testicles, they had fortitude, and they had the ideology of being free men. And that's why they wrote the Declaration of Independence. So if the people of Mount Here County really want to be free and they really want to control their county, well, they, according to Scalia's, not me, Scalia's, the Justice Scalia that was assassinated, and Supreme Court Justice Sotomayor that was appointed by Barack Hussein Obama, in which I was totally baffled, but she actually said it, that at the end of the day, that it is a people to create a common law grand jury to restore the republic. That is Sotomayor, the most leftist libtard Democrat. She actually wrote a Supreme Court justice ruling on that. So it's the people that have to have the testicles and the audacity to rise and to speak up of what's really happening. Because remember, at the end of the day, mercury does not discriminate. Uranium does not discriminate. It doesn't care if you're black. It doesn't care if you're white. It doesn't care if you're Asian or Hispanic. It doesn't care if you're man or woman. It doesn't care if you're Jewish, Catholic, Christian, Buddhist, Hindu. I don't care, man or female. It doesn't discriminate, because at the end of the day, it affects everybody, everyone, including the side effects of a mother or a fetus, in which they also becomes hazardous to the fetus. And let me not get started what happens to the children, because remember, the children play around the pond, especially in the Oahe Reservoir. So if the Oahe Reservoir becomes contaminated, well, what do you think the children do when they go in the water? They drink, and it goes into their ears, and it goes through their noses. So now they get contaminated. So they don't discriminate. They don't care. All they care about is money. They already sold out.
It's disgusting. It's absolutely disgusting. And you know what? What you just said made me think of something here. And it really bothers me, because we both know about 911, right? We both know about 911. We know through our research what exactly happened. But I want to give the people a taste of something that happened today, and I don't know if you heard about it. Luis Alvarez, he was a police officer. He was one of the first responders. Well, I remember the reports when the EPA there in 911, there at the Twin Towers, when they fell, were saying the air is safe to breathe. Don't worry, the air is safe to breathe. But here's what happened to Luis.
Luis Alvarez spent his dying days pleading before Congress so 9/11 first responders could have health benefits, and in the end, he gave his life to the rescue effort. This is all you need to see to know his sacrifice.
I don't know if you can hear that.
I can hear it.
Luis Alvarez spent 3 months breathing in toxins at Ground Zero, searching for survivors and remains after the September 11th terror attacks. His cancer was linked to the air he breathed in. Alvarez was an NYPD detective, a Marine, and a father of 3 boys. He called Shepard Smith just before his death to share a message with the public that he didn't hesitate when the call came in 18 years ago, and he knew he'd be leaving his children fatherless when the final curtain came. But he needed to fight one more time before he could go.
A father, and there's plenty like me. We need this bill passed, Shep. It's got to be passed quickly and efficiently so we never have to come down to Washington again.
Alvarez may get his dying wish after all. The bill to reauthorize the 9/11 Victims Compensation Fund now has 45 co-sponsors and should pass. After his testimony, Alvarez gave his police badge to Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell, who agreed to vote on the bill later this summer. More than 50.
I'm going to just stop it right there, because it right there, it just iced everything of Luis Alvarez's passing. Only 53 years old, dying from the air he breathed that the EPA said was just fine to breathe in, right? Just fine to breathe in. One whose pockets were being lined over that. And right now, there was, I think there's 10 times, at least 10 times, I think, what did they say it was? Over 5,000, maybe even more, of people that have died just from what happened there on 911, breathing the air. Okay? Yeah, it was safe to breathe. And it takes 18 years for our government to pay attention to this. And they mentioned Mitch McConnell. How much are we going to take? I don't think nothing's going to happen. I really don't think that the people are going to be compensated for their lives. This guy was only 53 years old. 53 years old and dead now because of what he did trying to save other Americans at Ground Zero. You know, it's the same.
I'm glad you said that.
Well, see,
I'm
you're
glad you
talking
said that
about
because
just like Vietnam, that you've done research about. Just like Vietnam and the Agent Orange.
Yep.
Go ahead.
For the Agent Orange, let's hit on that. The EPA has already been sold out. They don't work for the American people. No different than the FDA. No different than the Bureau of Land Management. No different than the Department of Fish and Wildlife. No different than the United States Forestry Service. No different than the Administration of Agriculture, which is the DOA. No different than the DOE, Department of Energy, and especially DEQ, Department of Quality. You know why? Because the Agent Orange that they have, that they knowingly and willfully allowed to be buried 2 feet underneath the ground, where the Agent Orange of 55-gallon barrels, 2 football fields. Think about it. 2 football fields of 55-gallon Agent Orange, only 2 feet from the ground in which they buried, and all that's being contaminated. All the aqua is being contaminated, and the people that are having cancer because of the Agent Orange. But DEQ doesn't want to talk about that. No, there's the DOA, Department of Agriculture, want to talk about it. No different. These are the same corporations. These are the same treasonous government agencies that allowing the uranium to be extracted, the gold and silver to be extracted, and the allow of using mercury to extract the silver and gold and contaminate our waters. And all this is on record between the BLM, the Department of Fish and Wildlife, the United States Forestry, the Department of Quality, and the Department of Agriculture. They knowingly and willfully allowing Calico Resource to contaminate the soil and the water. And by the way, do you know where the waste is going to be buried? The waste is going to be buried underneath the ground. They don't tell you how deep it is. They're going to go underneath the soil to extract the minerals, and then further down the line, they're not going to tell you if it's public land or private land. But at the end of the day, that waste is going to be underneath the ground. And what people fail to realize is that the shift of the earth, it never stays stationary. What happens? It moves, right? It expands. It goes, especially when it rains, or especially during the winter when it becomes solid and then becomes watery. and moisture comes and starts leaking, just like the Agent Orange in Christmas Valley, Oregon. People forget that because what people can't see, what people can't hear, and what people can't think, they don't care because it's not affecting them directly, but indirectly they're being affected. And that's why they're testing the fishes, because the fishes also have high levels of mercury in the state of Oregon. But most of the people of Oregon don't even look at mercury and how it's affecting their fish and their wildlife. So you remember Karen Suckling from the Center of Biological Diversity that went after the Hammonds and the Bundys? The same Center of Biological Diversity is now suing the Hammonds again for the second time under Michael Simmons, in which he had financial gains and financial ties to the Center of Biological Diversity, including his wife. Well, they failed to realize that they failed to mention that to the people of Oregon.
Well,
And they failed to mention that to the Hammonds.
Didn't the Hammonds already lose their property? Didn't the Hammonds already lose their ranch?
Well, technically, no.
Their land?
But in reality, in regards to falsifying documents, they did. Remember what I said, falsifying documents. They did, but anything that's fraud is null and void. All right? So think about it that way. Now we have to come back and look at technically meaning they have not lawfully lost their land. Their land has been stolen through fraud. The big difference.
Well, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah. They
right.
lost.
So these are the same players.
Fraud. Yeah.
The same players that are behind Calico Resources were behind the Uranium One deal. Same players in the local level. Brian Bukis, Cliff Benz, Stephen E. Grassi, Boyd Britton, Russ Young, Stanley Amanda Marshall, Stacy Beckerman, Anna Akins. Who else am I missing? Dan Nichols, Pete Reynolds, which are commissioners for Harney County. Dan Joyce, that was appointed. Oh, by the way, Dan Joyce, let me not forget Dan Joyce. Dan Joyce was serving in the committee for Calico Resource. And now he's a judge regarding allowing him to give permits, which he's not even a credited bar member. This is beautiful. This is a huge conspiracy.
Yes, wait, this is crazy. How is it that he is? And why isn't that nobody has addressed this up there with him?
Okay,
have you?
So again, okay, so we're talking about Malheur County. Who's the sheriff of Malheur County? Brian Wolf. Who used to be the sheriff of Malheur County? Andy Bentz. Who started Bentz Solution LLC with Cliff Bentz and Andy Bentz and Jim Bentz? Now, anybody goes out of line, you got the sheriff, Brian Wolf, in which Bentz Solution LLC has in their pocket, and they'll club them if anybody goes ahead and speaks up against Dan Joyce. And Stacey Davis can validate what I'm saying.
Corrupted. Yeah, it's fully corrupted.
Oh, yeah, to the teeth.
Yeah.
And Stephen E. Grassi, so he's in bed with Stephen E. Grassi because guess what? In the land comprehension plan, Stan Joyce was Stephen E. Grassi and Boyd Britton, and also in that committee. Oh yeah, this is all. And remember, Stephen E. Grassi was also an appointed judge in Harney County. And Boyd Britton was also part of the assassination of Robert LeBoy Finnegan, so let's not forget about that. Not forget about him. So, including Stephen E. Grassi. Now, Dan Joyce, think about it. He was in the committee for Calico Resources, so Calico Resources can do the survey and expand, right? He was in the committee. Now he's a presiding so-called judge and allowing to give the permits to Calico Resource. Damn, isn't this amazing? And I got the documents to prove it.
You've already said it. It's fraudulent, right? It's fraudulent, so it makes it null and void. So why aren't the American people? I mean, there could be tons of American people addressing this. You know, instead they're getting away with the corruption. Corruption only exists. It's like freaking roaches. You know, only exist if you don't pay attention to them. You know.
And think about it this way. Who controls the media in Oregon? Media Matter, George Soros, right?
I knew you were going to say that.
Who wrote the narrative? Who wrote the narrative regarding the militia in the Oregonian, in the what do you call it? Let me get this straight. In the Oregonian, what do you call it? Malheur, the name, Malheur Enterprise, the newspaper, and there's one, Blue Mountain Eagle. Well, that is Les Zates. That was part of the committee hold on. Let me get this. Let me get my thoughts correct. Okay, Les Zates is a reporter at the one time for the Oregonian. Now he works for Malheur Enterprise as a reporter. He's the one that came with the narrative with Center of Biological Diversity and Karen something about naming or mentioning the militia as terrorists. Les Zates participated in the land comprehension meeting regarding Calico Resource. So the same Les Zates that was painting the Bundys and the Hammonds and the assassination of Robert Lavoy Finnegan as militia terrorists is the same one that was in the committee for Calico Resource with Cliff Bentz, the representative, with Andy Bentz, the Bentz Solution LLC, with Dan Joyce. Yep, Les Zates and King Williams from Iron Triangle. Huge conspiracy, because remember, you got to take the lumber, which majority of the contracts go to Iron Triangle. So now you got to hire Iron Triangle, and when you hire Iron Triangle, here comes King Williams and Zach Williams. Now, I don't know if it's Marissa Williams, but I believe it's Marissa Williams that also controls Blue Mountain Eagle with Les Zates. So Blue Mountain Eagle will never tell you the truth, because Blue Mountain Eagle benefits King Williams Iron Triangle, the lumber company, to remove the lumber so Calico can come in. And by the way, who funds the roads for Calico and Iron Triangle? Malheur. You, the taxpayers, fund that road under the stewardship fund. Free money. Taxpayers' money. It's not government money. It's free money, just like the Center of Biological Diversity, getting government money, getting taxpayers' money to go against the Native Americans and the ranchers to steal the land. That's aiding and abetting. That's aiding in comfort. That is treason at its highest.
And with all that said and all this information that you always put out there, every bit of it's true. Anybody out there can go check it out. Don't just like you said before,
absolutely. Hey, it's already here. It's already here. And by the way, Cliff Bentz,
everything that he says, every video that he makes, he has hyperlinks on the bottom that you can go check out for the truth. Period. So if you
and they did destroy the
don't just talk shit.
PDF.
Go and check it out. You know, that's the whole thing.
Yeah.
And American people aren't doing that. They, for the most part, they are not doing it. And that's the big problem. Because if the American people knew about what you just said and all the information that you and two others took to Washington, D.C., the reason why all the lamestream media, especially Fox, was starting to say something about Uranium One, that was the information that you shared with the senators and the representatives up in Washington, D.C. They got a hold of it within the news, and that's the reason why everybody's hearing about it now with Robert Mueller, with the Clinton Foundation, and all the connections that you've already talked about. All these connections that you have made, it's all true, people. That's why you got to sit there and pass it on. Pass it on.
One of the things that I admire about Julian Assad is that he hacked all the emails between the John Podesta and the Clinton Foundation. That is amazing, because what Julian Assad did was validated all the information that we were saying. The difference between we and Julian Assad is that we did it the hard way, like I'm doing it right now, regarding showing the documents during the committees, Senate hearings, legislative hearings, congressional hearings. We go through all those documents. See, WikiLeaks had to hack the email, which is phenomenal. That supports and substantiates everything they were saying. That's why in one of the WikiLeaks emails regarding John Podesta's emails, that's why Ron Wyden and Jeff Merkley were that's what they were talking about, Ron Wyden and Jeff Merkley being difficult regarding the Oahe Reservoir, because they already had a financial gain through Calico Resource, and it wasn't beneficial to screw and putting the Oahe River under the federal lands. And I have that email, and I'm going to post that email after this live stream. I'll actually post it right now. Again, under the Podesta's emails, in which WikiLeaks hacks, it talks to you about the Oahe Reservoir, and even states how nobody likes Ron Wyden and Jeff Merkley, and that Ron Wyden has Jeff Merkley in Oregon, and that they will put a huge confrontation for the Oahe Reservoir, because the deal was already made with Calico back in 2011 with Vance Thornsberry, VanSethornsberry, which works for Bentz Solution LLC, Andy Bentz and Cliff Bentz. But let me go back to Cliff Bentz. Cliff Bentz, if he's such a good Republican, guess who he got money from? Pfizer. Guess who else? Pfizer enforced vaccinations. Oregon, it's coming. Who else did Cliff Benz get money from? Monsanto, Agent Orange, Christmas Valley, Oregon. Oh yeah, he got money off of that, and we got those documents. This is a Republican that looking out for the best interests of the people of Oregon, and he was one of the 11 that walked away. Well, no. This all was a theater. It was a play. It was a play to keep the people of Salem over there distracted in regards to what was happening in Malheur County with Dan Joyce and Calico Resource and the attorneys. That's what it was all about. The silver and gold going to the Chinese. Under Senate Bill 1113 and HR 4402. Yep. Yep, and it's called the rare earth minerals. Oh yeah.
Rare earth
Oh
minerals.
yeah, this is how big it can. Yep. So Cliff Benz also got money from Benz Solution LLC through Linda Benz. Linda Benz is married to Jim Benz. Jim Benz is part of Benz Solution LLC. Andy Benz and Cliff Benz family. Oh yeah, they got so much money. And so now you got Linda Benz, Jim Benz's wife. Oh, please donate to my brother. But we can't say Benz Solution LLC. And then we'll open up and create another corporation where we can pump $20,000 under Benz Solution LLC through another corporation to Cliff Benz. The same way they did for Brian Wolf, the sheriff of Malheur County. Oh yeah, this is awesome. This is phenomenal. All these documents are amazing. Oh yeah, dude. You think it's a joke? These are criminals in suits and ties with badges and guns.
I don't think it's a joke. I'm just like flabbergasted, you know.
Well,
That's what I get every time I listen to you on your live streams and everything else with all of this research that you've done, and you're able to spit this out. I mean, boom, boom, boom. That's what I used to do with Obama being in the White House, man. With all the research I did on Obama and everything that was happening during his administration, you're just chop, 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 chop. I mean, you're getting it out there, man. And it's like, damn.
Let me give this to the people.
And the corruption is far and wide. And I tell you what, when I was sitting there doing a little bit of research on that Podesta group and Clinton Foundation, and the next thing you know, I go and watch that guy that was in jail, Dinesh D'Souza, one of his shows. You know, what was it? The Clinton, what was it? Clinton's America? Isn't that what it was titled? Went and watched that. It confirmed everything I already did the research on. And now, you know, we got Laz sitting there just bam, 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 giving you the information that you need to pass on to everybody out there. That's what needs to happen. I've been saying that for years. That all this stuff matters and it all works together. Every bit of it is intertwined and it's all working together, not for the benefit of America, but for the destruction of America and its citizenry. Every bit of it to take down America.
Guess what I'm going to do?
Go ahead. I can't see you.
Guess what I'm going to do? I am going to try to tag. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna tag Senator Hatchett on this right here on your Live Truth Radio.
What?
I'm gonna tag Senator Hatchett on Live Truth Radio.
Senator
Live Truth Radio.
Go ahead. Tag that bastard
on your Live Truth regarding Ron Wyden and Jeff Merkley, and I'm gonna do it right here for you guys. It should be coming right now. And this is about the Oahe and the Canyon land. Hold on, I'm gonna do it right now. It's going coming, and this is John Podesta's emails. So even in the email, it's already going to you, and it's already posted in your live stream, in your chat. In Podesta's email, this says Ron Wyden and Jeff Merkley. That Ron Wyden is difficult. Matter of fact, this says Ron Wyden is not the most popular member. And it will take movement by him and Senator Merkley to introduce a bill and to be more forcible advocates. And we're not working on that. This is about the Oahe River. Oh yeah. That's a Podesta's email, validating everything that I'm saying right now.
Wow.
Well, hold on. For those out there that think that Cliff Benz.
Did you copy and paste that? Because if you typed all
I
that,
did.
and you're one hell of a fast typer, you ought to be a freaking in the court.
No. See, what I do, I'm very methodical. I grab everything. I take screenshots. I put their comments there. What else? I download them into a PDF file, and then I save them and store them in a thumb drive. So just in case I disappear or my laptop disappears or anything, there's about 20 of these in different places. See, you got to be smart about these people because these people will make you disappear. Just, you know, Brian Bukist or Brian Bukest also works with the mercenaries. The drone that was flying over that captured the assassination of Robert LeBoy Finnegan, that went against the narrative of what Shauna Cox recorded versus the drone. Remember, they were falsifying that through the media. Remember that? Remember how they said that Robert LeBoy Finnegan pulled the gun, but he didn't. Thank God for Shauna Cox's video. Well, that's the same Brian Bukist that was also part of this, and he trains mercenaries, and this is what he does. The mercenaries that were used over to assassinate Robert LeBoy Finnegan, some of them came from his training camp in Dallas, Texas, and Dallas, Oregon. I apologize, Dallas, Oregon. But here, this is a link. I'm gonna show you guys right here. A link right here. I'm gonna put it right there. Control copy. I'm gonna do this of what I'm talking about regarding Cliff Bentz. Here you go. This is an article. This article validates everything that I'm saying today. And I have the documents, the campaign contributions, his ability to vote for the sage grouse, also vote for Calico Resource. He voted for it, for Calico Resource, and yet he participated in the committees. Roof, roof.
That's my beautiful dog, Duke, that I had to bring along.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah,
so here it is. There's the article for. There's the article.
Okay.
Brian, right there.
Okay, you already shared it and I missed it. Where is it? Oh, the
Oh, it's there.
WikiLeaks. I only see the WikiLeaks.
The WikiLeaks, and there's another one, and there's the other one now. That's an article.
What the hell do I see? I don't see it.
Ontario, it's coming. It's there. It'll come.
All right.
It'll come because it's there. So the articles are there. They're going to be more. There's going to be more documentation coming down the pipe. But see, this is to be a huge a congressional hearing because they got to be out of state. You know why? Because this implicates the governor. This implicates most of the Democratic Party. This implicates rhinos. This implicates sheriffs. This implicates judges. This implicates lawyers. This implicates politicians. This implicates people in committees, in the Sage Grouse Committee, in the Hammond's Land. This implicates a lot of people, a lot of criminals. And you have to go through document by document methodical. We have to be extremely methodical. And one of the most beautiful things about is Jennifer Applegate's live stream regarding this. And I'm going to post that live stream and regarding to.
You talked about that. Hey, Les, you talked about Jennifer Applegate's live stream, right, on one of your videos. Yep. Are you going to share that in here? Because I haven't seen that. I am going to share that. Too.
Matter of fact, you should play. You should play it when we share it.
She was right there when everything was implicated, right?
Right. She captured regarding Dan Joyce, the one that served in the committees with King Williams, with Les Zates, with Stephen E. Grassi, with Boyd Britton in the committees, with Cliff Bentz and Andy Bentz in the committees, and now is the judge, the presiding judge, to give the permits for Calico Resource. Oh.
You know, you got to laugh at this shit. You got to laugh at it. If you didn't laugh at it, if you didn't try and have some fun, man, it would drive you nuts. Seriously.
Oh, yeah, you have to.
Here
you go, right here. This is Applegate's video.
Laz, is that the American people aren't paying attention to it. Like, I'm in Ohio, and I talk about this, you know, with different people I run into in Ohio, like the boy Finnegan, that no one knows who he is. And then they say, you mean the ranchers out there in Nevada? That's out there in Nevada. It applies to everybody here in the United States. Everybody that is an American citizen ought to be worried and understand what's happening out there because it matters clear across the United States. It don't matter who you are. And I see, oh my God, what just happened?
Right there, the 23 video.
Oh.
I just sent you the video. So click on the 23-minute video. When that guy, the guy in the white shirt with the tie, Dan Joyce is the one in the center. The attorney's the one that's sitting behind that has the back to Jennifer Applegate. 3 things should stand out. 1, they stated that they're going to go do a portal, which is going to go underneath the ground to extract the minerals. That's the first one. 2, that the contaminated waste is going to be in Malheur County at a location which they can't provide. 3 times the attorney from Calico Resource told Dan Joyce, basically trying to repeat himself, say, hey, you idiot, don't do it now. Don't pass the vote now. Do not, in your window, because you're being live streamed and they're recording this and now it's on the record. And from my understanding, from the communications that I had with Jennifer Applegate, they already had the motion and all that already done. But because they had it done before the whole damn thing came out, they had to redo it because she was there and she captured the live stream. And Calico Research attorney is telling them, you know, in your window, we got Jennifer Applegate recording this. And they still proceeded with the vote. Oh, it's all there, 23 beautiful minutes of it. This is awesome.
I'm gonna check that out.
Hey,
after this broadcast.
You should give it to
you guys out there watching this, wait until after this broadcast to check it out too.
No. Play some of it. Because I already downloaded the committee. The committee of Calico Research is already it was in a Harney County website. I grabbed it, downloaded, saved it, stored it, thumb drive. So I'm gonna post it there. But you can play that. I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna post that too right now.
All right, here we go. I gotta turn up the volume or something. What the heck? I can't hear it. Pause.
Oh, you're gonna probably have to use something else to make it louder. Here, I'll play it on my end if you can hear it. Let me see if we can hear it on my end. Let me play it on my end. Or probably not, but you probably won't be able to hear it. Yeah. Let me see.
I can't even get the full picture of the damn thing. I can't hear it.
Oh, you can't hear it. You're gonna have to get off or use a different device. Yeah, you're gonna have to. People are gonna have to watch it after the live stream. But I'm gonna post this. This is from the. Probably not, but you probably won't be able to hear it. From Calico Research, and the meeting in Mount here. So I'm gonna post that now. This is what came out of the meeting, which is phenomenal. And I love this because I keep everything. You know me.
I can't even get the full picture of the damn thing. Yeah, I'll probably.
Oh, you can't hear it.
I can't.
You're gonna have to get off.
It's not very loud at all. I'm hearing an echo.
Yeah, you're gonna have to get off. Yeah. But I'm gonna post it. This is from the probably not. You probably won't be able to hear it. From Calico Research, and the meeting in Mount here. So I'm gonna post. Can you hear that? This is what came out of the meeting, which is phenomenal.
Well, I'm hearing it, but it's like it's playing.
Well, it's all right. We'll play it. We'll play. People can play or hear it after. People can hear it afterwards, which is okay.
Why don't you get a hold of Jennifer Applegate and have her join us? Can we have 3 on this thing?
We probably can, but I know she went out. She's doing something. Trust me, it's worth waiting for. I don't want to spill the beans or where she's at. Trust me.
Well,
I promise you that much. You gotta trust me.
Like me. Oh, I trust you, all right, brother. I trust you. It's cool.
So
I'm in the location north of our south border. Somewhere.
This is the committee. This has already been downloaded and saved. So everything here that I'm giving to everybody, everything that I'm sharing right here has already been downloaded and saved in the thumb drive. So everything y'all guys see in here and everything that's documents already been stored and saved. And for those out there that really want to follow the documents, save it into a PDF file and then save it into a thumb drive so you won't lose it.
It's cool.
So
South border.
this is what
Yeah,
so this is the committee. Yeah, you can't hear. You're gonna have to get. We're gonna have to wait. So everything here that I'm giving to everybody, everything that I'm sharing right here has already been downloaded and saved in the thumb drive. So everything y'all guys see in here and everything that's documented already.
I didn't realize there was that much delay.
Yeah, there's a delay.
I didn't
So
realize.
now I'm going to give you, I'm going to give the fans of Light Truth Radio and everybody out there that's following the Harney County meeting with for Calico Resource. I'm going to give it to you right now. Here you guys go. Let me look for it. Trust me, there's a lot of notes. Unless you do not, the only way you're going to know this is going through all this information is if you actually read it. And several people have already read through this information and already have it. So let me put this here. What else am I going to put here? Oh, here you go. For those, the State of Oregon Department of Geology. For those out there, Calico Resource, here, control copy. I'm going to put it right there for the fans to see it. So nobody can say that we manipulated. Here you go. Regarding Vance Thorpen, I'm going to show you that he actually works for Ben Solution LLC. I don't want no one to take my word for it. But after this, I am also going to show documentation in regards to Dugami, Department of Oregon and Minerals, Mining Minerals. Dugami and him being the complicit in that report. This is on January 20th, 2016, 6 days before the assassination of Robert LeBoy Finnegan. That's how crazy this is. And let me go. Ben Solution. Huh?
And I covered this before when all that was happening. President Obama had gave approval to Kate Brown to get rid of the people in Malheur. And then the next thing you knew, those people that are considered FBI and the mercenaries started showing up there, and then it intensified, and then they were set up to go on, what was it, 395 to meet. They had a meeting. They had a meeting set up to meet with that other sheriff.
No, that was Sheriff from Grant County, Sheriff Palmer, an amazing man, awesome guy. He's not corrupt. He's not bought like Brian Wolf and David Ward. He is an amazing sheriff over there for the people of Grant County. And all it was a setup. It was a setup to try to take down Glenn Palmer, to cover up the murder of Robert LeBoy Finnegan and the people that were involved in the murder of Robert LeBoy Finnegan. That's what it was about. To use Sheriff Palmer as a guinea pig, as a fall guy for the crimes that perpetrated against the people. That's what happened. Yep, all these criminals are complicit. They're all complicit.
Time I heard that.
Yeah, because when you look at all the documents, the same people behind the Sage Grouse, the same people behind the Land Comprehension Plan, the same people behind Uranium One, the same people behind Calico Resource are the same people that were behind when they called Sheriff Palmer to go over there. Oh, yeah. But nobody sees that. See, you got to read the documents. You got to read. If you do not put it together and show it in a manner, then they'll call you a conspiracy theorist. But think about it. Why would they call the Sheriff Palmer? Let's think about it. Call Sheriff Palmer and Attorney General. They didn't know what was happening. Let's just think about it. Think about the whole process of what played out with Sheriff Palmer.
I'm trying to think of how they were going to book it on him. You know, that's what I'm trying to think of.
Because they said that they were going to use the storyline that Palmer set up the assassination. Les Zates was going to pump that narrative.
Who?
That's right. The same Les Zates. The same Les Zates that worked for the Oregonian, the same Les Zates that was in the committee, the same in the committee with Calico Research and the same Gauss. That's Les Zates, a reporter / criminal / puppet for anybody from the DNC and the Rhinos in the Republican Party. You got to look at everything. Look at all the players. Why do you think they try to come after Sheriff Palmer? Why do they want to remove Sheriff Palmer? The same people. Boyd Britton trying to remove him. Stephen E. Grassi. All the people would try. All those criminals tried to remove him.
I didn't know that.
But the people of Grant County spoke. Yeah, he lost a lot of money. Think about it. His county from geographically is surrounded by Harney County, Malheur County. Palmer's in the middle in Grant County. Grant County, Malheur County, Grant County, and Harney County. Harney County, Oregon, Malheur County, Grant County. The only good sheriff that's being surrounded by bad sheriffs. And the Sheriff Association president is Brian Wolf. This is amazing. This is amazing because they're all complicit. The corrupt establishment. But here, I'm gonna show you what happened in what Jennifer Applegate demonstrated. I'm gonna show you right now. I'm glad I have all these notes. I mean, it's just amazing. I'm overwhelmed with all these sometimes these notes, but it's amazing. It's amazing how these criminals play out. And at the end of the day, it's about putting the documents together and reading them. And if the people are not willing to put the documents together, or at least read them, for instance, me and a lot of people put these documents together. So nobody has to do anything, but if you really care about Malheur County, and if you really care about the people of Harney County, and if you're a God-loving American, and you care about our children and other Americans, well, then you should start reading these documents, all these documents.
Well,
because all these documents
okay,
show
I'm looking
the
at
criminal enterprise.
Hey, the way you were just explaining it, though, is incorrect. I want to make sure that everybody knows that. I'm looking at the map of the counties. You have Malheur on the right. You have Harney on the left. The southeast corner is Malheur, then Harney, and right above Harney is Grant.
Grant County. Okay, I apologize. Yeah, so thank you for geographically. So yeah, so both those counties are above Grant County. That's correct.
They're below.
Thank you for the correction.
They're below Grant County.
Yeah, below.
I mean, that's what the reason why I started looking, because you were saying in between, and I'm going, oh, wait a minute. I remember 395, they were heading north, right? They were heading north to get to that meeting with Palmer. And I'm going, hey,
yeah.
I had to look at it. I have to see for myself.
You're right.
Counties.
You're right. You're right. And I want to thank you for the correction. You're absolutely correct. But the corner of Harney County and Malheur County is shared with Grant County.
They're connected. That's why they're all intertwined. It's because they're trying to protect their asses down there from this guy up here in Grant County. Yeah.
And was it Utamilla? Where's Utamilla? Above Grant County or on the side of Grant County?
Who?
It starts with a UTA, Utamilla, or I can't pronounce that county.
There's Baker. There's Wheeler.
Okay, Baker County.
There's the lake. I don't see another one that even comes.
It's because in the report it has Baker County, it has Grant County, Harney County.
That's just above Grant.
Utamilla, above Grant, Utamilla, right? Utamilla, okay,
yep.
Right. So, yeah, correct. So all those 5 counties are part of the east, the southeast, Southeast Oregon or southeast something. So they call it the Southeast Oregon in that committee because Baker County
is Harney and Malheur.
Well, no, in the committee, Utamilla, right? In the committee of the regional committee that was created, they call the Southeastern Oregon, is Utamilla, if I'm pronouncing it right, Baker County, Harney County, Grant County, Malheur County.
Well, Utamilla is up on the north. That's weird.
Here, I'm gonna send you I'm gonna send you how they broke it down in the regional. All right, this is regional. Watch this. Comprehension.
Oh, it is Umatilla.
Oh, is it Umatia? Okay, I can't pronounce it, man. You know me. My broken English. uh, okay. Comprehensive planning. Watch this.
All right.
Uh, so we're gonna go to the comprehensive planning. You get a lot of documents.
Tony, you can't go. You got to stay. You stay, Tony. Tony. He's trying to say, night, kids. I'm exhausted. Well, hey.
Here you go.
I haven't had a broadcast in since May 25th. Lost the video. We'll go back out and come back in. It's there. The video's there.
Okay, the comprehensive economic development strategy. All right, here you go. Control V, right there. You'll see the breakdown on how they did it. Remember, this is Stephen E. Grassi, Boyd Britton, King Williams, Les Zates, Dan Joyce, all these criminals in the local level, local and state, with Ron Wyden, with Jeff Merkley, with Greg Bolden, with Kate Brown. So rhinos and Democrats complicit in this on regarding the land comprehension.
It's all about the money.
It's all about the money.
They can give a shit about the American people. You know?
Nope, not one bit. So you go ahead, open it up if you can open that link. It tells you everything, mining, profits.
That's what I've been pissed off about ever since this all happened. And that's why I keep on, sharing Lavoie with everybody. That's an American citizen that was killed on American soil. For what?
Yeah.
For telling the truth and sharing the truth, getting to the bottom of what you're doing right now. Everything, all the connections. I remember that happening when they were up there. We were hearing that there was a lot of information that's going to be coming out. People are going to be vetted, right? People are going to be vetted because they were getting the connections. Well, I think you were up there, but I know Shauna Cox was up there because she was right behind. She was right behind Bundy, Ammon, every time they were having a or news conference or anything like that.
Oh, okay. All right, yeah.
But the bottom line, they were about ready to vet him, and I'll bet you any amount of money that's the reason why Robert Lavoie Finicum was killed.
Oh, I wouldn't doubt it. I would not doubt it. By the way, Lewis and Clark Law School, you want to know about why they call it the Lewis and Clark Law School? Because all the environmentalists come from there. And anybody that has minerals underneath their land, these criminals from the Lewis and Clark Law School, as I mentioned before, who graduated from Lewis and Clark Law School? Kate Brown, Cliff Bentz, Ron Wyden, Jeff Merkley, Sally Amanda Marshall, Stacy Beckerman, Anna Akins, Anna J. Brown. Look at all these people that graduated from the Lewis and Clark Law School. Now, and when you, and they're all environmentalists and creating administrative laws to steal land from Native American and ranchers, and that's the history of the Lewis and Clark. You have to go to the history of the Lewis Clark University. You'll understand why they had to create unconstitutional laws, and especially the eminent domain to steal land, because all eminent domain is fraud. All that's eminent domain is to steal. Rather than saying stealing, they just use eminent domain. In reality, stealing because of what's underneath the ground. Matter of fact, Stephen E. Grassi's brother, Brent Grassi, which he's a GIS, which is geologist surveyor for minerals, works for the Bureau of Land Management in Vail, Oregon. Stephen E. Grassi's brother works in Vail, Oregon as a GIS coordinator in regards to picking up minerals. And who's in bed with Ben Solution LLC and Calico Resource? Stephen E. Grassi. So now you have your brother Brent working over there surveying the land under the Bureau of Land Management. Oh man, this is juicy. He can't write this any better. It's all there. I mean, I'm putting documents in.
What?
Hold on. So
this document that you can go through. What page?
Yeah.
Because this is interesting.
Just open the whole page. Open the whole page. Open the whole thing. Let people write through the radio. That's what I read.
What'd you say?
Yeah, that's what I read. Not just that, there's other one that's 500 pages, 500 plus pages. I read them.
It's 226. Man, the Lewis and Clark National Historic Trail, 1804 to 1806.
Right. That's why they named after the Lewis and Clark Law School.
Man.
Here is what Jennifer Applegate. Here, you can open it up. Here in Mount Here County, the last link that I'm going to show. I won't say the last link, but go to that link that I just posted. Right, the last link that I posted, and you're going to see it. And this is at the Mount Here County. All you got to do is click on it. Click on it, and it talks about Calico Resource, right there. Mount Here County Court minutes, and look at the names who's there. The county court met with Judge Dan Joyce. But isn't Dan Joyce doesn't have a registered oath of office, not even with the county recorder's office or with the Secretary of State? And isn't it Dan Joyce does not have right now to provide any proof without a doubt that he graduated from a accredited law school according to the American Bar Association? He's a judge.
Laz, check it out here.
Yes.
I like what Donna Croak has put in there. Lewis and Clark Clown School. And then Candy Connor is sitting there. Laz, where can she can find all the documents? I want to read them. Well,
I'm posting them.
Huh?
And I'll send you more if you want.
He has them for you, Candy. You can have some sort of sweet time being Candy, reading all that.
And if you don't think I read them, trust me, I was exhausted. I mean, through work, through breaks, I had to read it all. I had to, because in order for you to have any validity, anywhere you sit down and you actually want to have a dialogue and know what you're talking about, you got to go through the document. Because if you do not go with the documents and somebody calls you out, then you're done. But you know what? They're there, and they're in a thumb drive, and wherever they get lost. And I have them screenshots. I even took screenshots. I went so far to take screenshots of these documents and I highlighted them just in case it disappeared. I highlighted them. I have the page. I have the names. I have their titles. I have the committees. I have it all. And their campaign contributions. Right? Brian Wolf, the same share of Brian Wolf that was funded by Ben Solution LLC. In which Ben Solution LLC hired Vance Thornsberry, VANCETHORNEBERRY.
That's like when Obama was running against Romney. Okay, I went in,
right.
I did my research on that whole election. It was a joke. It was a freaking joke. Do you know that the campaign contributions for both were the same? There was only one that was different, and that was Obama had, what was it? University of California, Berkeley listed as the #1 donor at the time when I was looking up all the campaign contributions that both sides were getting. But other than that, they were all the same. Merrill Lynch, the insurance companies, the financiers, the Goldman Sachs, all these people were donating to both sides. Donating to both sides, so they can keep that control one way or the other.
You have to.
Ludicrous.
You have to, and it's all methodical. This is all methodical. I'm going to show you another committee right here. I'm going to show you all the committees. I got their names here. You got to so to hold validity, right? It's all about truth. It's about Live Truth Radio. It's about Brian Lange. It's about me. So the people can see for themselves what's happening. That what I'm bringing to Live Truth Radio is no joke. It's really no laughing matter, to be honest. But you have to have some type of laugh, sense of humor, because when you read all this, when you read it, and it comes to read it, you're dumbfounded. You go through emotions because as a God-loving American, as what Robert LaVoy Finnegan stood for, and about loving your neighbors, about protecting your neighbors, about being American. How can a corporation like Calico Resource with corrupt politicians and sheriffs allow the contamination of mercury and uranium that will affect the soils, the environment, the endangered species, according to Karen Suckling, and our children.
And then
What kind of future
look
are
at,
we going to leave for our
you
children?
also look at the same kind of thing. Halliburton, you know, the same kind of thing. Halliburton
Yes.
and the uranium, the depleted uranium that our troops used over there in Iraq, and now they're coming back with all these illnesses, but we're not paying attention again, just like Agent Orange, not paying attention to our own, not taking care of our own. You know, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
It's the same damn thing, only so that certain people can line their pockets. Absolutely
Yep.
awesome.
And they won't care. They will never care, and they won't care. And it's not to their benefit to care. Because until the people decide to hold these criminals accountable, nothing's going to happen. Here you go. This is what I was looking for. Okay, that's a newspaper. That was a newspaper article. Let me do this. Because I want you guys to.
Let me do an advertisement real quick. All right, it's not for me.
Okay.
It's for right here. I don't know if you can see it right, but this is michaelstrangefoundation.org. michaelstrangefoundation.org. If you know the symbol, you know what it's about. It's about the Navy SEALs that were killed over there in Afghanistan in 2011, August 6, 2011, where they were shot down by a lucky shot that our government was telling the father, Charles Strange, father of one of our Navy SEALs that was shot down. It's serious. It's just as serious as what we're talking about now. Extortion 17. Look it up. Go to michaelstrangefoundation.org. Get a shirt, get a hat, get whatever to support the Michael Strange Foundation and all the Gold Star family members that are suffering without their loved ones with them anymore. And that means all Gold Star, not just the Navy SEALs that were assassinated thanks to Obama and Biden and the other people, the other players involved, but thanks to all the corruption. You need to go there and check it out. YouTube. Go on YouTube. Find out about Extortion 17. Find out about it if you don't know about it. This is all the same. This is all the same. This is corruption. Complete corruption. From one side to the other side, up, top, bottom, it doesn't matter. It's all around. And we as American people can't stand for it. We shouldn't stand for it. The information that Laz is bringing out here today is phenomenal. It's phenomenal. And you guys out there need to share it. Share it with everybody you know. All the information that Laz has given, share it with everybody you know. Period. You know? Go ahead, Laz. I can't see your smiling face.
No, I mean, obviously, this is not about me. This is not about Live Truth Radio or Brian Lange. We're not getting rich off of this. This is about informing our brothers and sisters. At the end of the day, it's what Robert LaVoy Finnegan stood for. It's what Senator Stancy Schaefer stood for. Senator Ted Stevens, Aaron Russo, William Cooper, Bill Cooper, our former naval intelligence officer, Ted Gunderson. I mean, a lot of people died for America for believing the core, the foundation of our founding fathers. I don't do it to be rich, and I don't do it for popularity. I do it for what I believe in with my heart. As a God-loving American, is to take care of our brothers and sisters and to inform them with the truth. It isn't about fame and glory. It's not, because we already know what happens with fame and glory. The de facto government won't tolerate that and will kill you or assassinate you for that.
It's fleeting, though. I mean, it's not. Nothing's worth it. Truth is everything. Truth is everything. You know, in everything that we do. You know.
Yeah.
If you can't be truthful about even talking to your brothers and sisters out there, you know, or your fellow American they just ran into. If you can't speak truth to them, you're useless. I mean, really, that's why all these politicians are useless. You know, they can't speak truth about any damn thing that they're talking about. Nothing.
They can't. It doesn't matter if it's Democrat or Republican. They're both in bed with each other. They're both in bed. All they do is put theater to keep the American people distracted. Just prime example of what happened in Harney County with Calico Resource. It's all about keeping us fighting amongst each other, to be divided, to depopulate each other as sheeples, because that's all we are to them. We're expendable to them. They can care less because at the end of the day, we're still being screwed on taxes and we're not getting the proper representation by these corrupt bureaucrats or public servants the way we should be.
Let me ask you this, Laz. You know, we can keep on talking about what we're talking about for the rest of the night. But what do you think about Donald J. Trump and what he's doing right now on our south border? What do you think of what's going on there and what the pundits are saying? What do you think?
I still wonder about that because our 45th president is surrounded by a lot of rhinos, a lot of members of the New World Order, a lot of traitors within the Oval Office. I've wondered that, and some of them are appointed as Supreme Court justices, and some are appointed in certain areas within. This is a prime example: the Food and Drug Administration that worked for Monsanto. Why would we have somebody, a woman that worked for Monsanto, representing Monsanto, working for the Food and Drug Administration? I don't understand why he made that move. They're better Supreme Court justices than the one that just got fired, the one that just got elected, Kavanaugh. You know who would have appointed there? Andrew Napolitano. Not a globalist, not a member of the New World Order, a constitutionalist, a God-loving American that stood next to Ron Paul. That's who I would have appointed. And who has been the runner-up? Judge Janine from Fox News.
I'm with you.
Those are God-loving Americans. Why is he surrounding himself with globalists, members of the New World Order? I'm just telling the American people. Maybe he does or doesn't know. Maybe the people that are advising him are not advising him for the best interest of America or the best interest of Donald J. Trump. I would like to know that motive. But I tell you this much. When you hire people to run the Food Administration, that the Food Administration been paid and bought for by Monsanto, including through the Barack Hussein Obama's administration, we have problems in America, especially with our food.
Oh,
our number one resource is being contaminated.
During the last presidency, that guy made it so that Monsanto cannot be sued. You remember that?
That's correct. Yep, that is correct.
So Monsanto cannot be sued. So now it's now the head of Monsanto or somebody that worked for Monsanto is with who? The Food and Drug Administration?
Was appointed to lead the Food and Drug Administration.
Is
that is correct?
Incredible. Yeah.
I mean that's what baffles me. See, that's what baffles me is who is guiding him? Who is advising him to make these moves? You understand? So William Barr, everybody forgets because apparently everybody it seems like a short lapse memory between the freaking fluoride, between the chemtrails, between the vaccinations, between Monsanto. All I do know is William Barr was behind Ruby Ridge. If we believe in the Constitution, and we die and we're bum-thumping constitutionalists and with our founding fathers in the red, white, and blue, why would William Barr run the Department of Justice? When you could appoint other people to run the department, like Andrew Napolitano. If you can't have him as a Supreme Court justice, well, then why don't you appoint him to the Department of Justice? It's a simple question. Or if you didn't want to appoint Judge Judy from Fox News to run the department, to be appointed as Supreme Court justice, well, why don't you get her to run the Department of Justice? Just saying. Or if not, what about Roger Clayman? Why don't you hire him to run the Department of Justice, or to be a Supreme Court justice? Clayman, the one that defended the Bundys.
Oh, Larry Clayman. He's defending Charles Strange.
Yeah. So why don't we appoint people like why don't we appoint Ron Paul to run either the Department of Justice or the FBI? A constitutionalist. What's wrong with Ron Paul? So
there. Now wait. Go ahead. Keep it up.
a Christian. So what's wrong with having Ron Paul? So why don't we put all these people in place for the American people, by the American people?
Oh, I'm
So
with
why
you.
not? Well, who is advising them?
And what's okay? With that said, though, my initial question about the border and what do you think about
Okay.
Trump and what he's doing with the border?
Oh, about the border. I think that I believe the border is a distraction. Well, obviously, it's cynical because these people are cynical. They're sick and twisted. But in order to understand, you got to play their game and you got to start thinking like them. It's for multiple reasons. One is to steal the natural resources in which Tim Kaine, the former the vice president that ran with Hillary Clinton, and the Catholic Church and George Soros have financial investments in Venezuela regarding the minerals and the waters and the land in Venezuela. Not just Venezuela, but Nicaragua, all these countries. Yet the immigrants, the invasion, they're playing both sides. They're playing the American people like a fiddle. I said this. ISIS on the borders. We have Russians over there that already been well documented in regards to child trafficking and the drugs. We have MS-13. We have the cartels. The border is a perfect time to bring in martial law. Would be catastrophic. Think about it. It only takes one bullet. If one agent or one National Guard member or one sheriff, same thing happens with Fast and Furious, is gunned down because the situation is so volatile, it will spin out of control. Martial law will be implemented, and I strongly advise everybody that you better have food and water stored and a lot of ammunition because what's coming down the pipe is going to be crazy. Because at the end of the day, the new world order, which is through the United Nations, 12 countries was through the approval of Congress and the treasonous Barack Hussein Obama to allow to enter the United States of America. And this is why I do not understand why Donald J. Trump has not kicked out the United Nations out of America and have completely withdrawn from the United Nations.
He just did something, I can't remember what it was, about the UN today. I just seen the report today about having funding or something of the UN. He stopped doing something with the UN. But here's my aspect to this.
Yeah.
My aspect to this is just like Deborah Robinson. You know who she is. And others out there all across the United States, where an illegal alien has, just like the one guy up there, there was a truck driver up in Connecticut, I think it was, just recently, killed 7 motorcyclists up there, right? He's an illegal alien, but it seems like he's from Russia or the Ukraine or something like that. It doesn't matter where they come from.
Right.
They're illegal, okay? And I believe that what's being done on our south border as far as Trump's administration, it's a righteous thing to build the wall, but yet I've had confirmation that, about 5,000 to 6,000, something like that, each day are coming into our country. And this is part of the Cloward and Piven. I keep on talking about this through my radio show. People got to understand what Cloward and Piven are.
Right.
Cloward and Piven is the economic plan for overwhelming the system. And what's happening? We can't pay for all these people.
Correct.
I don't care if you come from a different country. I don't care. I love everybody, man. I love humans. But you got to come in the right way. You have to come in the right way. That's the bottom line. And this is all, nobody's even talking about this when it started back in Obama's presidency, when he set it up.
Right.
When he sat there and cut a deal with the Mexican government to allow the Guatemalans, the Nicaraguans, and El Salvadorans to go right through Mexico into our country. And now, since Donald J. Trump won the election, since he's an outsider, he's not an establishment guy, that they are projecting this upon the American people, upon our country, to absolutely crash our system. What it's all about. Because we right now do not have, with a $22 trillion deficit that was mostly created by that previous president, right? We have no way of
Right.
Here we go. Finally back up. I don't know why it was buffering, but go ahead with what you were talking about. And I like what you're saying, Michael Stewart. What you just said. You believe in Jesus Christ, you live forever, right? Absolutely awesome.
Yeah.
Last.
And we have to. What's that young lady that asked for the documents? I'm dumping some of the documents there because as I've been stating, there's a lot of people that have been involved in what we're putting out there, and I think the American people need to see all the documents that we're putting in. I'm just pumping as much as I can here on Live Truth Radio, on Brian Lange's radio show or live stream show, for the simple fact that the American people deserve the truth. And holding these documents here, that ain't gonna do anybody any justice. But this for the young lady that asked for those documents. I'm dumping those documents, and as you know, we're God-loving Americans, and we're gonna have to stand up and fight for our republic. It doesn't matter, Republicans or Democrats. They're all complicit. And they're all in bed together. Matter of fact, for those out there, I'm gonna give you an article. If you believe that Brian Bukist, a Republican, is looking out for the best interests of America, why did he introduce a bill? This is a Republican. Why did he from Dulles, Oregon? Why did he introduce a bill against the Second Amendment? And by the way, that bill has gone to Washington, California. Oh, it's been introduced and passed. Vermont, all liberal states, it has passed. And I'm going to send it to you right here. But I'm going to send you this one. Where is it at? Where is it at? Where is it at? Where is it at? I'm going to send it to y'all.
It's
for y'all to see.
The Second Amendment.
Brian Bukist, a Republican, or Brian Bukest, a Republican, going after your guns. Here you go. This is Brian Bukest.
Man.
For those out there that and this is one of the 11 Republicans that went out of state because of Kate Brown. But everybody forgets that Brian Bukest and Cliff Benz, two treasonous Republicans, were in bed with Kate Brown for that pertain to the assassination of Robert Lavoie Fennekin. Here it is, and this is Brian Bukest's bill, an introduction of what happened. Hold on, oh no, don't go away. But Brian Bukist, where's he at? Oh, now it won't let me do this. Where is it at? For some reason, your show now froze.
Maybe that's why they were buffering, so they make sure that you can't share any more shit. You know, so the American people get the knowledge. Are you able to share it?
I'm working on it. I am really working on this. Here you go. I'm gonna share it right here. Control V. Where's he at? Okay, no. Oh, now it won't let me do this. Hold on real quick, Brian, because I want the American people to see it for themselves. That this is a Republican that's against the Second Amendment.
So you make sure that you can't share any more shit. You know, so the American people can get the knowledge. Are you able to share it?
I'm in the process of doing that. I'm working on it. I am really working on this. Here you go. I'm going to share it right here.
Well, then share it.
I'm in the process. Because I want the American people to see it for themselves. that this is a Republican that's against the Second Amendment. Brian?
Make sure that you can't share any more shit.
I'm in the process of doing that. I'm trying. I might have misspelled his wrong name, but right there, it should be there. Brian Bukist. Do you see it?
There's someone in there saying that it's pronounced Balquest or Bowquest.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate that. But it's right there, brother. Do you see the article?
Nope. Buffering badly, cutting out. Oh, sorry, Belinda. Well, that's Facebook. They figured out Laz was on the live feed somewhere. So they decided to do some of their algorithms to buffer it out so you guys can't see, so you guys can't pay attention. So you guys will want to leave because of Laz's information.
So how do you spell it? Brian Bukist, B-R-I-A-N, Bukist, B-O-Q-U-I-S-T or E-S-T?
Hell, I don't know how you spell it. I just was reading in the chat. But here's the thing. I'm getting sick of hearing that there's a Brian here and there's a Brian there that's all corrupted. You know, there's a Brian up there in Oregon. There's this Brian Quest, whatever. All these damn Brians. Get the hell out of me, you know? Bob Mueller is running his mouth on Obama.
Here you go. Right there. I don't know if you got it now.
Not yet.
It has to be there, Brian. Yeah.
Where are you sharing them to? Friends.
I could share.
Bob Mueller isn't what he's out there, he's sitting there talking, you know, getting on Obama. Well, that's good. He'll probably be dead then.
Okay, so it's under Michael Stewart, and right above Michael Stewart's comment I shared, and then right below where Michael Stewart says they coming now, son. Now they coming on, son. So it's between Michael Stewart's comments, right, and then below Michael Stewart's comments, Belinda Barker. So it's there. I can see it. Matter of fact, look, I'll show it to you right now. It's right there.
Well, you better get it.
That is your comment.
Michael Stewart. Laz.
Right there.
We found
it's right there. So
this one. Okay. I missed it.
It's yeah. So it doesn't matter if it's a Republican or Democrat. I'm just showing you right now. Brian Bukist or Bukest was part of or against the Second Amendment and introduced the bill. He sponsored that bill. So if he's a Republican, why is he going after the people's Second Amendment there in Oregon? A Republican. He's a Republican rhino that doesn't care. That's also in bed, again, with Cliff Bentz, Calico Resource, Grassy Mountain, the stealing of the silver and gold and going to the Chinese. That's what this is about. This is the whole distraction about. And the American people, if they don't put it together, the people of Oregon don't put it together, then I can't say much. Because it's all there. It's all well documented. All you got to do is open a link and right there. Why would a Republican introduce a bill like that?
Is that the one you shared that says vote smart?
Let me see. It's from Breitbart. It's https www.breitbart.com. Oregon passes GOP senators gun law. If you can't open it, I'm going to do this. Check it out, Brian. Look at this right here. Oregon passes GOP senator's bill allowing gun seizures order without guns owners' knowledge from Breitbart News. And look who the senator is. Oregon lawmaker passes legislative co-sponsored by Brian Bukist, that's B-O-Q-U-I-S-T, Republican from Dallas, Oregon, that allowed a judge to issue an ex parte ruling for the confiscation of individuals' firearms. The bill is SB 719, and it has now passed Oregon's House and Senate, and it created an extreme risk protection order, which forces the subject of the order to hand over all firearms, as well as a concealed carry permit if it possesses one. That is from Brian Bukist, a Republican. And this guy used to be in the army. He used to serve in the army, and now he's better with the CIA and mercenaries. That's why he made that comment at the Capitol that if you come with me, bring your bachelors and your guns or something like that. I'm just paraphrasing. I'm not quoting. This is the same Republican. And yet the Republican Party, the GOP, were applying him because he was one of the 11 that stood up against Kate Brown when he's going after their Second Amendment and was also involved in Robert LaVoy Finnegan's assassination. How in the hell would the militia protect him? He ain't being protected by the militia. He's being protected by mercenaries because he runs a camp for mercenaries. He runs a camp for helicopters. He runs a camp for drones. He has 3 bases, I believe, one in Wyoming, one in Texas, in Alaska, and one in Oregon. I am wondering, all the Native American women that are being lost or that can't be accounted for in Alaska, I'm wondering if his company has something to do with all those Alaska women disappearing, because this is a mercenary camp. And what happens when you send mercenaries against Native Americans to keep them silent in the state of Alaska? I strongly have a gut feeling, I can't say 100% sure, but I have a strong feeling that his organization, through his mercenaries, are being used to make Native Americans disappear. That's what I honestly think. And he's in bed with the Tyhoons, meaning the mineral companies, the oil companies, all where Native American land is at, on federal land. This is beautiful. This is why they're coming after your guns.
But that isn't Alaska part of the United States?
That is correct.
Last time we have 50 states. Alaska's part of the United States, right?
Right. Correct.
That anybody has heard of what you just said about these women that have been disappeared? I haven't heard that.
Yeah, there, North Dakota, South Dakota. Here you go. I'll send you an article.
You got more? Shit, I can't see the ones.
Oh, yeah, I got plenty more.
You're just going to have to share on my page, man. Man.
Oh, yeah. So when you see Native people, because remember, North Dakota, South Dakota, that's where all the oils, natural gas is at. So you need mercenaries to get them out of the way that can act complicit the government. So what the government does, the government funds these programs and fund these programs using the company as a front through mercenaries. That's all this is about. I'll put Native women disappearing. Watch this.
Governor Kate Brown told reporters earlier Thursday she looks forward to signing what she called the domestic violence bill. It's about domestic violence. That's the reason why they're taking the guns. That's what Kate Brown's excuse is for taking the guns up there. It's
right, but this is a Republican introducing it. This is a Republican that's sponsoring the bill. And Kate Brown, a Democrat, signing the bill.
How many
this
men?
Is a Republican.
How many men have killed women as domestic violence up there in Oregon? Right? I would like to throw in that statistic if we may. I mean, it's nothing about domestic violence. Nothing at all. See, they make these things sound so good because nobody wants domestic violence. Nobody wants to sit there and have it in their neighborhood or next door, even. But yet they'll dress it up as though you'll say, okay, yeah, this sounds good. So they get it voted on. Meanwhile, the guns are going.
Yeah. Yep. But hold on. You can't. Okay, so now let me ask you this. Realistically, I don't like Kate Brown because she was behind the stealing of the Hammonds land. She was behind the assassination of Robert LaVoy Finnegan. She is in bed with the Clintons. Now, but do you honestly blame Kate Brown? Hold on. Can you honestly blame Kate Brown for signing a bill in which we already know she's against. That's the Second Amendment. But can you blame her for signing that bill when it was a Republican that sponsored the bill and it passed through the House of Representatives, the Senate, and she signs into law? 3 branches of government. So is it all the blame on Kate Brown, or should it be the blame on who introduced the bill and had it passed? Think about it. This is sick and twisted. We got to think like them. But see, see, they don't say a Republican. No, Kate Brown signed the bill to pass, but nobody asked who gave Kate Brown the permission to sign that bill. How did that bill get to Kate Brown? That's through the House of Representatives and through the Senate by Republicans, so a Democrat governor can sign it. See the twist? Republican Democrats using the American people against each other to destroy, because people can depopulate each other.
They were bipartisan with that, weren't they? They can sit there and say, yes, we worked hard together. There's a bipartisan bill, which we all agree, so we can get this passed and we can take your guns and then control you even that much further. This un-American bill that's totally against the Second Amendment. It's crazy, man.
Here you go. Here's an article about Native Americans disappearing. I posted there, vanishing. But anyways, at the end of the day, yeah, I posted it there.
Wait. Hold on. Keep this stop.
Right, but at the end of the day, we have to ask ourselves, who's allowing this to happen? So do you blame Kate Brown, or do you blame Brian Bukist for sponsoring that bill? So how come the people of the GOP, how come the people, the militia, how come the farmers and the ranchers are not going haywire, going crazy against Brian Bukist when he was the one that's going after the Second Amendment? And on top of it, he was behind Robert Lavoie Finnegan's assassination. How can we forget? I mean, how can we be hypocrites towards other Americans when he's no American? He already sold out. Like John McCain. Just like Cliff Benz. How much more proof do you need, Brian?
This is crazy. This is in Montana. The searchers rummaged through
I'm gonna get you Alaska.
Flipping over a battered couch, unfurling a stained sheet, looking for clues. It's blistering hot and grizzly bear lurking in the brush. Like, you know what? I bet you I know what happened to all them women. Why they're vanishing. It's Bigfoot. Bigfoot has to have something to do. And he likes, you know, this is crazy. This is stupid. Something's happening. It's happening.
Here you go. And so why do you have to take Native American women out of the way? They cannot no longer populate. By them not populating, well, what's left regarding the native culture? So you got to send mercenaries to get them out of the way because of the oil companies. And the same thing that they're doing to the Native Americans, they're doing to the ranchers. And if the Native Americans and the ranchers come together and go after these criminals, and our military is also, being played. They're being played by these criminals, by these New World Order members, by these treasonous bastards, is what they are, treasonous criminals. Here it is. Here's the other article from Alaska. And Native American women, it's all broad. I mean, people can take it for what it's worth, but you need mercenaries to get them out of the way. Because why? As long as they cannot populate or reproduce, they can easily steal their land and their water and their minerals. Because most of these corporations are on native land. Right there's the other article for the American people to read. But it all comes together. So look at Brian Bukist. He's former Army. He runs a mercenary camp. He has drones. He has helicopters. He has airplanes. And he has three training facilities: Wyoming, Oregon, and Alaska, to train mercenaries. Everybody, it's all there. It's all. Matter of fact, it took a lot of researchers to put this together. We could not believe it until we saw what happened regarding Brian Bukis involved with Robert Lavoy Finnegan. You can never forget that name. And Cliff Bentz, a Republican. So we were wondering, why are two Republican traitors? Why is everybody gravitating to two Republican traitors that are against the Second Amendment, giving a silver gold to the Chinese, and it was participating in Robert Lavoy Finnegan's murder? Think about it. Think about it. So what do you do when you have a big movement like this? You draw people and you start vetting everybody. And now you have people, they're taking pictures and trying to identify who is who. That's what they did. They brought everybody in. They drew everybody in to see who is who. Just like they did with the Bundys and the Hammonds. Remember, you had traitors like Mitch McConnell at the Bundy standoff that betrayed the Bundys, right? And he was an informant. And again, like Stuart Rhodes from the Oath Keepers, another informant, in bed with the FBI. They drew people in and then gave their names so they can go after them one by one rather than staying as a group, because they can't come after you as a group. They pick you one by one. If the American people start realizing that when you come with a group and you stay with a group, you come down against these criminals. And you create a common law grand jury to hold them accountable for treason. And that's what they're doing. They're staging these events to draw people in, to identify and point them out. And that's why they have informants there in all these events. Just think about it, Brian. I mean, it doesn't take a rocket scientist.
No, it don't. This is just incredible to me. I'm reading a little bit of this as you're talking, and this is from federalregister.gov.
Yeah.
Just put out.
Think about it, Brian. If you take the Native women out of federal lands, or the Native Americans, or Native women, and they can't reproduce, well, who's there to claim the Native land? No one's left. Because you got rid of them. And the men, what do? You keep giving them casinos, you keep pumping them with drugs, you keep pumping them with vaccination, you contaminating their water and their their food and their livestock. You kill them. Just like the ranchers are doing to the ranchers and us.
Modern day Margaret Sanger, right here.
Yeah.
There's another way.
You're seeing it right there, all over being played. Yeah. All I want the American people is to research Brian Bukis and the mercenaries and his involvement in Robert Lavoy Finnegan, his involvement against the Second Amendment. You start realizing where all these mercenaries are being placed and how Native Americans are disappearing. It doesn't take a rocket scientist. You can call it a conspiracy, but damn it, the documents speak for itself. Follow the money. Follow the money, you follow the bodies, right? We all know about Clinton's assisted suicide. We know all the people that died under Hillary Clinton. Assisted suicide, right?
Again.
Well, think about what's happening with Native Americans now.
This one document that you shared with the people in Montana, all right, that's from AP. That's from the AP. This other one,
right? Yes,
from the Federal Register.
Federal. Yeah.
There is no documents that is on mainstream media so that the American people know about this. You know, I haven't seen anything on.
Well, the problem is. Hold on. The problem is, Brian. The problem is, Brian, is that as long as they keep the American people dumbed down and distracted, you'll never hear it. And they'll never talk about it because it doesn't fit the narrative.
We know that.
It doesn't fit the narrative. Remember, the media is controlled by George Soros and Media Matters, just the same as the CIA and Operation Mockingbird. That's why you have Les Zates at the Oregonian, the Blue Mountain Eagle, or the Malheur Enterprise. Because as long as he's there to dumb down the people of Harney County, Grant County, or Malheur County, or Utamilla, or Baker County, they're not going to question anything regarding the BLM, Department of Fish and Wildlife, the United States Forestry, the Department of Quality, the Department of Agriculture, all in bed and giving silver and gold to the Chinese. You won't hear that from any of them. And Les Zates, Scott Acosta, King Williams, all covering it up. All media. Well, same thing as Native Americans dying. The Native American women dying. Because now the corporations steal that.
And that's why we need more alternative media. People with a good heart and a good mind and a good soul for America. It don't matter. If you're here legally. Okay? It's about this country. This right here is the same. I don't care if they're Native Americans or not. They're missing. You know? Some people are sitting there probably scratching their head over what you were just talking about, what you shared in there about this. I'm scratching my head. You're not hearing about it. This is stuff that needs to be
They're
passed
not. They
on.
never will.
Well, they will.
Because well, guess what?
You and I and other people start
think,
passing it on, they will. Just like the information
Brian,
up to Washington, D.C. with those other two. Nobody heard about Uranium One and what the hell was happening there until you took it up there to the congressmen and the senators, and then they put it out to the freaking media. Nobody knew about it. And people started to be held accountable on all this bullshit.
Brian, the American people have been programmed for us not to think, and I'm not saying that every American people there is dumb, but the American people no longer are able to retain information or question anything because we've been programmed that way. It's been on purpose. Matter of fact, they want to give a vaccination that anybody that goes against the government to erase your memory. There's a vaccination. They're talking about it. Melinda and Bill Gates Foundation, all right, Monsanto, Merck, are all behind all this with the government. So it's a video. A whistleblower came out already and said this. But this is about dumbing down through our learning institutions, for we no longer to question things, for us no longer to research and to take the media, George Soros media, for face value, their information. No longer is there real true journalism where you start digging and bringing the information out. This is why they want to get rid of the alternative media and people like you, me, Chris Blah, David Hodge, Kathy Rubio. I mean, even right now with BNN, with the Border News Network, they don't want them around, like Oscar and Anthony or Blue. They don't want them around. I mean, look, April Kissing, another one of alternative media. Look what they did. Okay, Alex Jones can no longer be there. Alternative media. What's that young lady that they took away? That she was following the murder over there in Nevada. I forgot her name, but she was awesome in this. And God, I forgot her name, but it'll come up. But look at all the alternative media that they want to shut down. They want to shut
Lisa
down.
Haven? Lisa
No, Brett. Look, I forgot. Brett Bart's another one, right? Brett Bart News. They shut him down. They killed him. So they want to get rid of people because they can't tolerate that. I mean, and they won't. If you're not going with their status quo, they will eliminate you in one way, shape, or form. And they will set you up. And one of the things,
if you know who Jerome Corsi is, right?
Yeah, WND, World Daily News.
Yeah, WND, exactly. He was on my show back right before, or actually it was right after, not right before, right after Breitbart got killed. And he was saying that himself, Sheriff Joe Arpaio, and Breitbart were all on the phone the night prior. Now, see, the night prior, they were trying to get their ducks in a row, get everything together for the vetting to happen. Andrew Breitbart was killed on March 1st. That's when he told the whole world, I'm going to be vetting Barack Hussein Obama on March 1st. And he was on the phone with Jerome Corsi and Sheriff Joe Arpaio the night prior. This, this is crazy, man.
But when you bring this information, like for instance, this live stream is very powerful information because we're putting a lot of people behind a lot of things, and you ain't gonna hear it. And Fox News or MSNBC or CBS or CNN is not gonna carry this live stream or bring this live stream to because look, you have two Republicans. One going in bed with the Chinese with silver and gold through his brother's corporation, Ben Solution LLC, also behind Robert Lavoie Finnegan's assassination. Another one that's against the Second Amendment and also embedded against not against the Second Amendment, but has mercenaries in Alaska, Wyoming, and Oregon that recorded the assassination of Robert Lavoie Finnegan. In bed with Kate Brown. And in bed using the sage grouse as a front to steal land from Native American and ranchers and private property owners. So corporations like Uranium One, Barrick Gold Inc., Calico Resource, and a couple other ones can extract underneath the ground. Not even you knowing about it, because when you go back to Jennifer Applegate's live stream, they call it a portal. Why a portal? Because he said we got to go underneath the ground, and we're going to put all the waste chemicals underneath the ground. And they're all embedded, and they're passing these unconstitutional laws. Because one, was an army and has mercenaries and has in bed with Karen Sutton, the Center of Biological Diversity, and the other one has his brother, Ben Solution LLC, that's also in bed with Center of Biological Diversity, that graduated from Lewis and Clark Law School, creating unconstitutional lines. Now you got the brains, you got the muscle, and you got the sheriff, Brian Wolf, feeding everybody with a nightstick, keeping them down. Don't you dare get out of line, because we will screw you up. And by the way, I got the sheriff because I'm the president of the Sheriff's Association in Oregon. And if you get out of line, I'm bringing the mercenaries, and I'm bringing my thugs with badges and guns. Because if you don't listen to me, they'll make you disappear. And that's why Ben Solution LLC funded Brian Wolf's campaign, a large portion of the campaign. And these are so-called Americans. These are so-called sheriffs. These are so-called lawyers. These are so-called politicians. Criminals with suits and ties, running not just the city of Mount here or the county of Mount here, but running Salem, in bed with the governor, Kate Brown. Republicans and Democrats. Perpetuating treason upon the Republic, upon the people of Oregon and their Constitution.
It's pretty sad. It's pretty damn sad.
It's extremely sad.
How do you think that we can make a change and make it better? I mean, we're doing what we can do, but we need more alternative media out there getting this truth out there. You know?
Look, I don't think it's going to come. I don't think it's going to. Media, alternative media will help. You know what would be awesome? Is to see Antifa and the Patriot Prayer Group coming together, talking about their differences. Because at the end of the day, to Antifa, to the Patriot Prayer Groups, to the American people, to the people of Oregon, when was the last time the government looked out for your best interest? When was the last time the state of Oregon reduced your taxes? When was the last time the people of Oregon, your public servants, looked out for your best interest regarding your land, your water, your minerals, but most of all, your children?
That goes with,
just saying.
That goes all the way across the United States, my man. You're bringing out so much about Oregon, but that's what I was saying before. Like before Robert Lavoie Finchem was murdered, we were talking about all this. You know, they're grabbing the land of ranchers and everything, right? There was
and Native Americans.
There was one right here in Texas on the Red River. There was another rancher in Georgia. That, you know, it's happening all over this country, but yet the American people are, like you said earlier, they're breathing that stuff. They're being programmed not to really care, you know, and that's what we see. It just boggles my mind, man. All right, Laz.
Hold on, before we go, what is this? January. I want to show one last link before we all go. And then for the American people, with the food for thought, I want to bring that. I'm looking for that meeting in Harney County, and I want to bring it to the people for the American people to see what really happened on this day.
Sure.
I'm trying to find it, brother. I'm trying to find it. Trust me on that, because this is Calico Resource. Meadows. I don't have to go back.
And thank you, Michael. Thank you. And he's basically telling you
What's today, June?
It's not anything I've inputted. Everything, all the information that's been shared has been Lazaro Ecenarro, researcher extraordinaire.
I don't know about that.
You know. But thank you, Michael. If you're just coming by, and probably don't even know who I am, you're probably here because of Laz. I'm with Live Truth Radio and TV, livetruthradio.com, and we've been doing this. How long you been doing this, Laz? Did you first start when?
Regarding Child Protective Service, CPS since 2007, 2008. Regarding the whole BLM, Department of Fish and Wildlife, U.S. Forestry, and DEQ, and Department of Agriculture, and under the Obama administration since the assassination of Robert LeBoy Finnegan. That's how
So-
deep, and I got it all documented, everything. But let me.
You started the research with the CPS. It was a personal issue, and you did all the research with that. You know. Did you make
right.
Let me ask you this. Did you make the connections then with the CPS and the Clinton Foundation and all
Yes.
the webs then? You did then.
Well, yeah, I did. Senator Nancy Schaefer is the one that woke me up. She's the one that brought a lot of the documentation. Because of the documentation in regards to my case, Senator Ted Stevens moved my case to the FBI, to the Federal Bureau of Investigation, and made copies for Senator Nancy Schaefer, which is why I had to sign two consent waivers. So one that you can share with the FBI and the other one. There was supposed to be a common law grand jury. But we can go into details regarding my case at a later time. But to put it that he got indicted. Senator Ted Stevens got indicted, and then all of a sudden his plane mysteriously falls. Don't take my word for it. You can go to my Facebook page and you can see one of the letters. I have 3 letters from Senator Ted Stevens with his own personal signature. The main one I have says the FBI. It's there on my Facebook wall where everybody can actually look at that picture, and you can read it from Senator Ted Stevens himself. And actually, coming from that and his signature. Now, I'm not saying that my case involved everything, but I know it's part of why he was wrongfully indicted by the Department of Justice and the FBI. I can tell you this much, to this day, they haven't been a grand jury, but I'll tell you this much. If my case was to go into an open grand jury, it would open up all the cases in the state of Alaska and all through the 49 states. Because that could have shown conspiracy regarding my case, CPS, the Justice Center, or the courts, and the Alaska Bar Association, the Ombudsman's Office, and the Judicial Misconduct Association, all conspiring to cover up my former sister-in-law, Marissa Clay Flannery, she works for a law firm, in regards to the conspiracy of taking my daughter. And I have it all well documented. So we can go deep in that, and I can show you the whole timeline and the time frame, Senator Ted Stevens' letters, everything. And that was supposed to open up a lot of floodgates. And what they did was sign Senator Ted Stevens and sign Senator Nancy Schaefer. That's why they're both dead. But that's why Senator Ted Stevens' plane is still in a hangar in a military base and hasn't been released. Since when does a plane able to depart without a flight recorder or a voice recorder? And if there is a flight recorder and a voice recorder, then where is the voice recorder and where is the flight recorder? Show us the evidence. Show us what happened during that flight. I want to hear everything. Why don't they release it? Why do we have to hide it? I thought we believe in transparency. And if we believe in transparency, then release it. Release his plane, release the flight recorder and the voice recorder. Right? We're all about transparency. And Eric Holder was also there because Eric Holder's in bed with my sister's law firm, just like Barack Hussein Obama. And I can prove that. And the 3 treasonous Republicans that appointed Sharon L. Gleason as federal judge under Barack Hussein Obama. Marco Rubio, Lisa Murkowski. Look at that.
Marco Rubio?
Yeah. And Marco Rubio and his administration double-crossed me, and that's why I'm going after that treasonous bastard. And he's in bed with George Soros. And he's against our 45th President Donald J. Trump.
Yeah, he is.
So Lisa Murkowski, Marco Rubio, Lisa Murkowski, Marco Rubio.
Even when he stood with Donald J. Trump down there when he initially put out his campaign, just what was it, last week? Started his campaign, and Marco Rubio was there on stage with him. Yeah.
He's a traitor. Rubio's a traitor. I'll say it to his face. And trust me, I'll be in Miami, and I'll be going back to his office. And I'm going to live stream when I call him a traitor. Because I ain't playing around. Everybody that's seen my live streams, I go to the courts. I go to these corrupt politicians, and I call them what I said. Which white is white and what's black is black. I'll tell you how it is. And if you don't like it, that's too bad.
He's wanting to take your guns. He's part of the globalists. He's bought and paid for as well. He is.
Exactly. And Rubio's administration is involved.
All right.
So, but anyways, this is, I mean, so enough of my case. I want to bring this thing right now. This is what I'm looking for. The January 24th meeting. Let me see, January 24th. Because the American people need to see Calico resource. At the end, it is about Calico resource and the silver and the gold and the water being contaminated in Malheur County. By two treasonous Republicans are allowing it.
Michael Stewart, you are absolutely correct that Eric Holder is involved in guns, drugs, human trafficking. He's saying that you were right, but I remember covering that where Eric Holder should have already been in jail for he's held under contempt because they were trying to find, they were getting closer and closer, and it's just about emails again. And Barack Hussein Obama put an executive privilege on Eric Holder. When they got so close, Eric Holder didn't know what the hell to do. He said, listen, brother, I need some help. All right, executive privilege. They couldn't go any further. But he's the one that cut the deal and set those guns down south. That what we know of
Fast and Furious.
And you have all those guns where Sheriff Babbo from down there in Arizona, not even a year later after those guns went down there, over 200 American souls were killed on our border, on our land, okay? 200 using those weapons that were sent south of the border. All right, is a freaking traitor, and they all should be held accountable, and that's what the American people are waiting for. That's what the American people want.
But it'll never happen, Brian. It'll never happen because Kate Brown is in bed with the Republican with rhinos from the Republican Party, just like Republican Party members are in bed with Kate Brown. It'll never happen because they're both colluding. They're working with each other as long as they manipulate the masses and fighting amongst each other because they want that distraction. And they're doing an amazing job in doing it. So I'm looking for this, Brian. I'm like going crazy over this document because it's gonna irritate me if I can't find it. But it's here.
Well, I tell you what, Laz, you can share it after we're done because tell you the truth, I gotta go back. I already told you this. I gotta go over to work and take care of a couple things and then come back here. But I got to get that done before I lay down, and it's already past 11 here. So, you know, saying, can you
understand?
But you can share it afterwards. Share it right on my page. What's your?
I will. So for those out there that are going to be looking for the information, I will be leaving it there. But you guys got to see it. It goes in line with what Jennifer Applegate stated in her live stream, and you guys will see that. So it's up to the American people to read the information because all this information is for you to educate the American people, but most of all to protect your children, your water, your natural resources, your land, your minerals. That's what this is about. I could be right now with my friend drinking beer, and look, I've been doing almost a three-hour live stream, but this is not, to show that I'm better than anybody. No. I want you guys to see the truth of what's really happening. I'm not making a financial gain. Are you making a financial gain, Brian?
Not at all. Not at all. I buy cheap shit
to
get us through this. I mean,
oh man, that's a dagger. That's a dagger right there in the heart. Here it is. I found it right now. So I'm so happy. It's the notice of public hearing. Here you go, right here. I'm gonna put it. Notice of public hearing, and this go hand in hand with Jennifer Applegate's live stream video, and it's going right now to you. Thank God I found it. There you go. And to those that are being patient, I appreciate that. Thank you for your patience. Let me go to Lange. Oh, yeah. I hate when my computer freezes up. I got one question for everybody out there. How many people will actually stand up now, knowing what we know now? Brian?
I'm here with you, brother.
No. I'm talking about how many Oregonians will stand up and start speaking the truth.
Well, it's up to them. We can only sit there and lead a horse to water. We can't make them drink, man. You know, and that's what I've been trying to, you know, at the times where I was praying, because my numbers when I was getting 300,000 freaking month going to my site when I was doing that broadcast through the Orion Talk Radio Network, I started praying. It's like, what? Tell me, Lord, tell me what's going on. You can only lead a horse to water. You can't make him drink. You're on the right path. You need to keep on doing it. And that's the same thing I'm telling you, Laz. You're on the right path. You need to keep on doing it. You are helping so many people out there. It's incredible. Yeah, there's so many
Well,
people.
not me, because I couldn't do it. I could not do this with the help of a lot of other researchers, and I couldn't help it with the validity of the live stream that Jennifer Applegate recorded. Without everybody coming together as Americans, as God-loving Americans, this would never happen. So to those out there, that last link, this is a notice of public hearing. Malheur County Court public hearing for Calico, June 26, 2019. This go hand in hand with what Jennifer Applegate stated in her live stream, in which I posted here earlier in this live stream. So I don't know if you see it there, Brian.
I'm looking at it. Criteria for the, and then it disappeared. Where the hell did it go? Gee, many Christmas. I don't know what the hell just
Hell, I
happened
even
there.
do something better, Brian. I'll send it to Messenger so it makes it easier for you. Watch this. I'll go right straight to your Messenger right now.
Yeah, just go ahead.
Oh God, now it says it's too big. It's too long to post it there on your live stream. Matter of fact, Robert Nelson Jr. I'm gonna post that. Let me see if I can post that. I just posted on Robert Nelson's tag. I guess he shared it. I just put it right there on his live stream. Make it easier for you if you want to do that.
On my page? Is that where you was on my page?
I posted on his live stream, Brian.
On the live stream. Yeah, that's where I was at. I opened it up before. And then it went away. I was reading it and it like went away. There it is again. I'll open it up. And as I was scrolling, it disappeared.
So everybody can go. That's the Harney County, and you see Dan Joyce's name on that committee. That's the same thing. The same thing that Jennifer Applegate's live stream. This goes hand in hand with Jennifer Applegate's what do you call it, live stream. Do you see that, Brian?
I'm scrolling through. I'm just trying to scan through it. I'll just read.
Yeah, but you're able to open it up? Were you able to open it up?
Yeah, I opened it up.
You're able to open it up? Okay, watch this.
Yeah, I opened it up.
Look. Here we go. The Calico Resource USA, the consideration of the sage grouse. Hold on, but I thought the sage grouse was an endangered species, according to Karen Suckling, because they use the sage grouse against the Hammonds. Think about it. They use the sage grouse against the Hammonds, against the endangered species. And they're going after them the second time under the endangered species. So look at this. Because of the grazing, because the cows are going to affect the sage grouse. So the Calico Resource, and this is a company that wants to extract minerals and contaminate your water and your soil. Calico Resource USA Corp. The consideration of the sage grouse rules permit pursuant to Oregon administrative rules, not constitutional. Administrative rules 6602-023-0115 for an underground gold and silver mine located approximately 22 miles south of Vail, which is Vail, Oregon, on 62 acres of private property. So they're going to go on private property, but you know how they're going to do it? Going underneath the water, underneath the land. Because remember, you got surface. You have to have the patent for the surface. You have to have the patent for underneath the water, for underneath the ground, and patent for the water. Underneath the ground. And guess what? That's where they're going to put the chemicals. Somewhere they're going to put those chemicals, and it's going to be underneath the ground. But they won't tell you what, on private land. It says private property. Now, let's continue. An exclusive range zone and generally described as tax lot 101 on Malheur County Assessor's Map. And who was part of the county assessor's map? That's right. Cliff Bentz, Andy Bentz, Dan Joyce, Les Zates, Boyd Britton. They were all part of that committee. Let's continue on. And Dan Joyce and Stacey Davis. So criteria for the CGRP are under the endangered species 660-023-011, the Malheur County Planning Commission. Who also was underneath the Planning Commission? Again, Boyd Britton, Les Zates, King Williams, Andy Bentz, Cliff Bentz. They were all part of that committee. So let me get and now this treasonous judge Dan Joyce is giving the permit to Calico. So on a Malheur County Court meeting, May 23, 2019, to approve the SGRP, the Malheur County will make the final decision on the sage grouse rule permit application, right? Because we don't want to affect the endangered species. We got to make sure and manipulate that we are protecting the endangered species that Karen Suckling came out with the Center of Biological Diversity to protect. Interest personnel may appear and be provided for the opportunity to be heard, and or written comments may be received prior to the hearing by sending an email to Eric Vance at 251 B Street, West 12, Vail, Oregon. Now, nowhere in this document does it state that Applegate was against this permit. Nowhere in this minutes does it talk about the question that Jennifer Applegate asked. Not one thing was stated regarding what the attorney said in regarding to this meeting, that they're going to go underneath the ground, extract the silver and gold, and place all the chemicals, mercury and that radioactive uranium, and put them underneath the ground. Nowhere in this document, but it's stated in that video. And 3 times, the Calico Research attorney told Dan Joyce, hey, Jennifer Applegate's here and recording live stream in your window. 3 times. You might want to consider this. You might want to retract that in your window. And the idiot is so blatant and corrupt that he allowed the permits to go through. And it's validated with Jennifer Applegate. And nowhere here do you see Jennifer Applegate's questions and remarks. How about them apples? Do you see anywhere it says Jennifer Applegate? But you have Jennifer Applegate's live stream. How come Jennifer Applegate's comments or in live stream and the questions are not in here? Because it's not convenient for Dan Joyce and Boyd Britton and Cliff Bentz and Andy Bentz, Bentz Solution LLC, or Kate Brown, or Ron Wyden, or Jeff Merkley, or Greg Wolden, for the American people to see what Jennifer Applegate was asking and what she was stating on the record. Nowhere do you see that. Let's show me where Jennifer Applegate's comments and questions are in that document.
No, I don't see anything about Jennifer Applegate.
But go to Jennifer Applegate's live stream. These guys are sick and twisted and corrupt. And they've been they place themselves in these positions, in committees, subcommittees, and then becomes judge. Became from a commissioner, an appointed commissioner. He was never elected, an appointed commissioner, because I have those documents, and now becomes a judge to rule on the permits when he was a committee member in favor of Calico Resource. Isn't that a conflict of interest, Brian?
Every bit of it. Every bit of it. Well, just like Mueller. You know, he had a conflict of interest himself.
Oh, Brian, this is awesome. This is amazing. These are crooks with suits and ties from the Lewis and Clark Law School. And Michael, look at Michael Simmons. He's going after the Hammonds. Look at the remarks that he stated against the Hammonds, and yet he's the presiding judge against the Hammonds for the round 2. And Karen Suckling from the Center of Biological Diversity, that is there for the sage grouse, oh my God, it's the endangered species, is allowing Calico Research to extract the minerals through the Center of Biological Diversity. And the reporter Les Zaitz, that worked at one time for the Oregon, for the Oregonian, is now working for the Mount Here Enterprise and his wife for the Blue Mountain Eagle. Are you going to get the truth? And they were committee members. Oh my God! Even King Williams' husband, Marissa Williams, that works for Blue Mountain Eagle, her husband, King Williams, participated in this committee because he is behind the lumber, Iron Triangle. That's where he gets most of the stewardship, the free money, the taxpayers' money, government funded, at the tune of $10 million for the next 10 years. Taxpayers' money. And majority of the contracts of the lumber go to Iron Triangle and Southeast Oregon. That's why the majority of the lumber companies are going out of business because King Williams is in the committees.
Well, that's what they were saying in that one video of what was happening up there in Oregon. What was it? What was the town they're in?
Harney County, Grant County, Baker County.
In Harney County. What was that town? It was Grassley. He was sitting there stating in the video that, well, this place used to be booming with lumber. Now, not so much.
No, but Stephen E. Grassie's in bed with Iron Triangle. And Stephen E. Grassie participated in a committee to give Iron Triangle almost all the contracts because he's in bed with King Williams.
Wow.
Yep, the same Stephen Grassie that was part of the assassination of Robert Lavoie Finnegan. Yeah. And King Williams, because he knows that road, just like Boyd Britton, he also assisted in the assassination of Robert Lavoie Finnegan because they were mapping that out. See, they had to give a perfect target because remember, that as somebody stated, and I forgot his name, the gentleman's name, that the sage grouse, the basin at the Mount Here Wildlife Refuge is under the jurisdiction of the sheriff and is a corporation bought and sold by and owned since 2001 and was never federal land. And when Les Zaitz lied through the Oregonian and Mount Here Enterprise and the Blue Mountain Eagle because it was sold in 2001. So how in the hell are you going to call it public lands, federal lands, when it was already sold to the Great Basin Society under the jurisdiction of the sheriff? See? It's all coming together, Brian. Lovely. What are they going to try to do? Sue me for defamation? Oh, my God. What are they going to do? Sue me for defamation of character? For slander? Because I got documents. Hey, by the way, you criminals, look. You see this? You see this?
I love you, man. I love you.
Oh, there's a library right there.
I need your last words. I can't go on. I can't.
All right. To the alternative media. To the alternative media, please carry this story. Have your people also do their own research. Do not take my word for it. The people of Mount Here County need to know the truth of what's happening. If we believe in the Republic, if we believe in what our military is fighting for freedom, and for our Constitution, and what our founding fathers fought in 1776, and gave us a Declaration of Independence, and gave us a Bill of Rights, and for the almighty man upstairs, as God-loving Americans, we need to stand for our brothers and sisters, and they need to be informed with the truth. For those, good night, and God bless our country. God bless our 45th president, and God bless our children. Thank you, Brian.
God bless you, brother. God bless you. Stay in touch. We're going to do this again.
Always, baby, always. And I apologize for boring your audience.
You didn't bore, man. That's why people were saying a great show, because of you. It wasn't me.
Well, I can't do it without you, without your platform, without Live Truth Radio and your sponsors.
We will do it, man. We will do it again. You know we will. Man, what a show. And I got a lot of shit to read, too, thanks to you.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Hey, and by the way, I'm going to post this comment. The comment that I posted is going to go hand in hand with Jennifer Applegate's live stream. So I'm going to post that so people can go back and listen to it for themselves.
That's cool. We'll be talking at you. I gotta finish this up and then go to work, come back. Got a couple
All
things
right, brother.
to
Thank you
do.
and God bless. And drive safe.
God bless. Who knows? They might be after my ass after this video. And I'm going out there right next to the border. Hey, I gotta put this. Hey, damn it. All right. I'm gonna pause it right here. All right, finishing this up. Everybody, it's a great show. If you like what Laz is doing, which you should, pass it on. Pass it on to everybody you know because it matters. Every bit of it matters. Lazaro is one extraordinary researcher extraordinaire. That's what I say, and it's true. The information he comes up with, the connections that he's made, the reason why that they're talking about uranium-1 on national television is because of Lazaro and two other people. You know, that's the reason. So pass it on. You can't, everything that Laz shares cannot be refuted because it's all in the same words. It's all in their documents. It's all in what they have said, you know, all in what they have done. So pass the word. Tell everybody you know about Lazaro Ecenarro and go to his site and share everything that he has. And we'll be having another live Truth Radio, hopefully through our Spreaker, hopefully by next weekend. A regular radio show with everything, all the bells and whistles that I usually have. But we're going to do this more. Thank you for being here. God bless you all. And God bless America. This is Brian Lange with Live Truth Radio and TV. I'm out. This song goes out to all those that have served, all those that are serving now, and especially those that gave their all in service of our great nation. I thank you, and God bless each and every one of you.
I'm just trying to be a father, raise a daughter and a son, be a lover to their mother, everything to everyone, up and out bright and early. I'm all business in my suit. Yeah, I'm dressed up for success, from my head down to my boots. I don't do it for the money, there's bills that I can't pay. I don't do it for the glory, I just do it anyway. Providing for our futures, my responsibility. Yeah, I'm real good under pressure, being all that I can be. I can't call in sick on Monday when the weekend's been too strong. I just work straight through the holidays, sometimes all night long. You can bet that I stand ready when the wolf growls at the door. Hey, I'm solid, hey, I'm steady, hey, I'm true down to the core, and I will always do my duty, no matter what the price. I've counted up the cost, I know the sacrifice. But if giants asking me, I bear that cross with honor. Cause freedom don't come free. I'm an American soldier, an American. Beside my brothers and my sisters, I will proudly take a stand. When liberty's in jeopardy, I will always do what's right. I'm out here on the front line, sleep in peace tonight. American soldier.
have served and all those that are serving now, and especially the ones that gave their all in service of our great nation. I, Brian Lange of Live Truth Radio and TV, I thank you and God bless each and every one of you.